because it focuses on problems the average person faces.
You're driving to work. Your truck's broke. It's going to cost $600. You don't have $600. You need to borrow. You need an emergency, small balance, short-term loan in order to solve your problem. That's a One United Bank product. You can't get a checking account because there's something that occurred in your youth. That's a One United Bank product.
One United Bank prides itself on helping to empower people in the black community through its products and services. Helping people in the lower and middle class face small everyday problems is a big part of that mission. I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
My son loves to fly kites, but my active psoriatic arthritis can sometimes hold me back. Now with Skyrizi to treat my skin and joints, I'm ready to go. Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults, helps with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. For those who also have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible with just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi today and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
The views and opinions expressed on this program do not necessarily reflect that of the staff and management of Good Karma Brands, but are the sole responsibility of the host and guests of this particular show.
America may have many, many days, but they will be full of trouble. There will be no rest. There will be no tranquility in this country until the nation comes to terms with our problems.
Bringing you social and political commentary from his mouth to your ears, breaking down the issues which matter to you.
You are not put here to be a white man's footstool. You are put here to represent the very best in God's word.
Legendary civil rights icon, the Reverend Jesse Jackson in the studio. Reverend Jackson, how are you?
Mr. Reverend, good morning on this chilly Milwaukee morning.
And I am pleased to have one of the founding members of the Black Panther Party, Chairman Bobby Seale. Mr. Chairman, how are you this morning?
Good morning. I'm doing just fine. Thank you.
To Mr. Eric Holder. Mr. Holder, so good to see you. How are you?
Well, I'm fine, man. How you been? It's been a long time. Haven't seen you for a while.
The Dr. Cornell West. Dr. West, how are you, sir?
My dear brother, you're so kind, you're so generous, man. But I salute you and the work that you were doing there. Doing a magnificent job there in Wisconsin.
Stream live on 1017thetruth.com. Call in with your questions or comments. 833-212-1017. Join us on social media at 1017 The Truth. It may not be what you expect to hear, but I will definitely give you what you need to know. Are you ready for the truth?
I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Sherwin Hughes.
Good morning. Welcome to the program. Today is Friday, June 14th, 2024. So yesterday, I was made aware that Donald Trump called Milwaukee a horrible city, and I ignored it because we give this guy a lot of attention for stuff that he says. But I'm going to put it into a context. So people get offended when he says stuff like that. And we're very sensitive here in the city of Milwaukee. Don't worry, I got plenty of examples of how we're sensitive. So he says it's a horrible city, and we get very angry, get very upset. How dare he say that? I was listening to a little bit of... Who was I listening to? Was Denise on somebody's show yesterday? Well, I heard Denise give an analogy about, well, I can say my sister is ugly, but you can't say my sister is ugly. I can say that Milwaukee is a horrible city because of the issues we have and the crime that we have and the reckless driving that we have and the high rate of black male unemployment, but you can't say that. Someone else cannot say that it's a horrible city. And we agree. While there are some really wonderful, spectacular, magnificent things about the city of Milwaukee, there's a lot of problems. So he's not entirely wrong. But also, you know, if Trump says this is a horrible city, well, it must be because you got black leadership. because you got a black mayor, you got a black county executive, you got a black police chief, you got a black sheriff. Maybe that's why he's saying it's a horrible city. Regardless, we have issues and complaints about this town, but there's no other city in the country you can go to that is free from its problems and its issues. But here's the thing. If you say Milwaukee is a horrible city, maybe you're talking about the current state of public education, which has a lot of people very upset. Maybe that's one of the reasons why this is a horrible city. If you don't have a solid foundation of a good school system, then people are not going to want to relocate to your city. If they do relocate to your city, they will be likely older and childless, or there will be people who generally don't care about the status of public education. Maybe they move here because the cost of living is dramatically cheaper than it is, say, to our neighbor to the south, Chicago. There are a number of people from Chicago that own condos on the Milwaukee River because it's that much cheaper here in the city of Milwaukee than it is in Chicago. So there's people that come here, but families are not deciding to move to Milwaukee. Nobody is moving from Washington County with their 3 and their 5-year-olds to come to the north side of the city of Milwaukee because the schools are spectacular. So I could say that could make Milwaukee a horrible city. And a lot of folks agree. There was a school board meeting last night. Some of you went, some of you didn't. I saw Tory Lowe in the house, saw Liz Brown in the house. They were sitting in the audience. I was watching the testimony via YouTube. I knew essentially how it was going to go. It was going to be a packed house, which is good because we want people involved. We want people engaged because our current status and the corruption that exists in our public school system does contribute to a factor which makes Milwaukee horrible. Now, I'm not casting a total negative dispersion over the city, but like that's a core foundational institution public education is. And if it's not doing well, if it's corrupt, if money is missing, if, documents and forms weren't submitted, and here's the other part, it's going to get worse before it gets better. So because necessary documents weren't submitted by the district to the Department of Public Instruction, MPS received between like $30 and $55 million in overpayments. That money belonged to smaller school districts outstate, because smaller school districts outstate weren't getting their necessary share of state revenue because erroneously it was coming to Milwaukee. Hear me out here. Those other school districts had to go to referendum to make up the additional money. And some of those school districts' referenda failed because we got overpayments, they got underpaid. So they had to go and ask their taxpayers in outstate Wisconsin districts to pony up more money. Oh, it gets better. They estimated, I got to get these numbers right. I don't have it written down. It's all committed to memory. Something like $217 per $100,000 of assessed value that your property taxes are going to go up because of our recently passed and narrowly passed $252 million referendum. Guess what? They lied. It's going to be more like $300 or $400 that your property taxes are going to go up per $100,000 of assessed value. Boy, it just gets worse and worse. But of course, this isn't a horrible city. So tempers were flaring last night, of course. The attendance was good. There are a lot of individuals there wearing their green shirts representing the union. The irony of that, have you guys ever heard the term gringo for an American? That's what the people, they call us gringos in Mexico, because that's just a bad name. So it started with, it had to have been something to do with like the Alamo. Did we ever fight Mexico? Did we get into American like servicemen? This was in the 1800s. Went to Mexico and the Americans were wearing green shirts. And so what the natives would say is they saw the American troops in Mexico wearing green outfits and green uniforms, like army green uniforms, and they said green go, because they wanted us out of their country, and that's where gringo came from. So how ironic it is that members of the teachers union that of course wanted the budget that was the agenda item at yesterday's school board meeting, they wanted it passed. They were all wearing green shirts. It's like the whole gringo thing all over again playing out in Wisconsin. So there was some yelling, some arguing, some profanity. Ultimately, the board passed the budget. Now, all is not lost. There are still going to be deliberations and additional meetings and time to decide. There will be additional meetings next month in July and then also, I believe, in October. And October is when the MPS budget actually has to be passed per state law, right? It's going to cut something like 300 positions, and it's a whole bunch of stuff that the community fundamentally disagrees with. But this makes a lot of sense why there's a recall going on, because these current board of school directors, but they shouldn't shoulder all of the blame because the issues and the problems in our school district, someone said it last night, this stuff's been going on since the 70s. You have noticed a deterioration in the investments in the program offerings of the MPS school district when the white students started to leave. There was a period of time where the city of Milwaukee was overwhelmingly Caucasian, and the Milwaukee public school system was top tier. The trades were offered right there in the schools. And you have people that wax nostalgic about how the district used to be some time ago, but what they are failing to tell you is the district was created and set up to make sure that young white kids had all of the education they need so that they could take on the jobs, job opportunities, and entrepreneurship endeavors in the city of Milwaukee. But as more and more of us, black people, migrated from the South to the North and had to bring our kids to the Milwaukee public school system, they started to offer less and less and less. Because here's the one fundamental principle about racism you must understand, and it's playing out in front of our faces. And here's the other thing. I'm not going to tell people to keep their emotions in check because I can understand why people are so angry. I totally get it. But in the plan that they have for us, which they are executing in front of our faces, a part of their plan is accepting our emotional outbursts. They know that that comes along with it. But the most fundamental thing about racism is they are not going to prepare your kids as good as or better than theirs. And they're going to withhold money, resources, and investment whenever they can. Those are the two fundamental things. But from that, so many other social problems stem. If they underprepare your children on purpose. Listen, y'all, the job market is competitive. You know that. You don't just get a job, you apply for it. In fact, you don't even apply for a job, you compete for one. You need a resume, you need a cover letter, you need experience, you might need an internship, you might need all of these other things just to be competitive. And then you add in immigration, because those folks, give the immigrants a generation, not even a generation, give them 10 years. Their children that are born in this country have full access to American citizenship, and they may outcompete people that have been in this country for hundreds of years. So no one wants to have a foreigner or an outsider or a person of color's children outcompeting the status quo. They are doing this to us. That is why they create the budgets that they do. You have to underfund certain things that black children in particular are going to need. You guys didn't think it was a bit ironic when they took out the trauma workers in 53206? A lot of these kids are coming to school with issues that we can't even fathom. We don't even want to think about what these children see every single day inside their homes and out there on the street every single day. We don't even want to think about it. These children need more than just reading, writing, and arithmetic. And if you know that they need more than reading, writing, and arithmetic, like counseling services, like trauma workers, if you take those trauma workers out, the children's opportunities for success is going to be more diminished. This is what you do if you want to stifle a group of people. You underinvest in their children so that these cycles of poverty and despair continue and continue and continue. So I'm going to take a break. I got a treat for you guys. Savannah, did you know that I got a treat for the people? James Clyburn is calling in. He is a congressman from South Carolina's 6th District.
Oh, goody. Yes, I did know.
That old goody didn't sound very enthusiastic, though.
Oh, goody. Yes, I did know. Is that better?
You drinking some of that tea?
This is why.
Are you drink this tea in there? Are you drinking
it? Take this break. I got something to say to you. Hold on.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Say it. You got something to say? You better say it for Wow.
Let's go to break. Come on.
I hope James Clyburn didn't hear this little outburst. All right. We're going to be talking to, me. Ain't no big three. It's just big me.
I got you. Yeah. Okay.
I heard you, Ricky. 6th District Congressman James Clyburn. I would actually call him the architect of Joe Biden's black support. We're going to take a break, come back, and talk to the congressman. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be back shortly.
More of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
It started with a prediction.
We'll go out there and play basketball and win.
And how many games?
6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
What distinguishes Old National Bank from other lenders in helping people buy their first home and furthering their small businesses?
One thing that really makes us stand out is our grants. We have 2 really big grants right now specifically for first-time home buyers buying in Milwaukee County. The first one is for $15,000. They have to be buying within Milwaukee County and reach certain income limits. And then the second one is for $20,000, and that is through the Federal Home Loan Bank of Indiana. We're headquartered in Indiana, as you know, Denise. So that is a second grant, and that is really the highest, most robust grant program throughout the entire southeastern Wisconsin area. So it's up to $35,000 essentially that a person could be receiving for their first home. If you are in a position that you're looking to buy your first home throughout Milwaukee County, please give me a call. Please contact me. I'm more than happy to help everybody that I can.
And what's your number, Anna?
Sure.
How can they reach you?
414-978-0283.
Sharon needed legal help. She needed Gruber Law Offices.
When I think about Gruber Law Office, I think about how they took care of me, how they make sure that you get what you're supposed to get. Gruber Law Office. One call, that's all. I will always trust one call, that's all.
Injured? Call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
They are the best. I'm very happy.
Truth Nation! Join the city of Racine for its 49th annual Juneteenth Festival. All week long, the city of Racine will be celebrating Juneteenth with events like the 3rd annual Sneaker Ball. Make sure to attend the Racine Juneteenth Parade, also followed by Racine's Juneteenth Celebration. This Saturday, June 15th, at the Dr. John Bryant Center. Enjoy food, art, sports, family activities, and more. Happy Juneteenth from the city of Racine. It's amazing.
The biggest names in the basketball world.
Dame Dollar Lillard.
Having fun and honest conversations.
He puts it in the shoe, right? And sets the tone for brothers and sisters and family.
Every week, Thanasis Adetokounmpo sits down with special guests on The Analysis Show. Presented by Potawatomi Casino Hotel and curbless, ready-to-drink cocktails.
Nasty.
Find The Analysis Show on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts. And on YouTube by searching The Analysis Show.
It's The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
And welcome back to the program. On the line, we have U.S. Representative Jim Clyburn on the line. Representative Clyburn, how are you this morning?
I'm just fine. I hope you're well.
We are doing well, but we are also very, very concerned. We are seeing a lot of numbers that looks like African-American men in particular are trending toward Donald Trump, and we know how incredibly influential that you are and you have been for the Biden campaign. What do we do at this juncture with the election less than 6 months away?
Well, quite frankly, to be honest with you, I don't believe those numbers one bit. One of the problems I'm having really this year especially is we now know exactly what's going on in this country. I've seen reports already this morning of how polls are being manipulated, how pictures are being doctored, how words are being misused to give off opposite meanings to what they really mean. This old AI thing is taking over these campaigns, and I would hope that we would not pay attention to all of that stuff. Let's look at these candidates, let's look at the platforms that they are putting forth, and let's think about our children and our grandchildren, and which one of these candidates best articulate the kind of future you want for your children and grandchildren. Do you want your children and grandchildren to grow up in a world where people are hell-bent on retribution, where people are hell-bent on putting their opponents in jail? That's all Trump talks about. Wouldn't it be a shame for the former president's wife to go to jail, the former Secretary of State? Go to jail for what? Because he wishes it to be? So I would hope that your listeners will stop paying attention to these reports. Let me give you a good example. The young lady who just got nominated to be the Democratic candidate for the United States Senate over in Maryland. The Sunday before the primary, which was Tuesday, 2 days before, one poll says she was 5 down. The other poll says she was 7 down. She won by 13. That's 20 points. So what was wrong? How could the poll say 2 days before the election you're losing by 7, and then the morning after the election you have won by 13? So this is all about suppressing the vote, trying to misrepresent. How can anybody? You just heard what's this guy's name? That was on 50 Cent or something on TV the other day, talking about this Trump stuff. And people listen to why. Well, that's 50 cents. Well, give me $1, and let me give you much better information. So I think that what is going on here is that we better wise up. This is not the first time this country has gone through this. I'm on my way out to San Diego, California right now to give a speech to a group tomorrow. And the whole bulk of my speech is going to be the 1876 presidential election, when this same kind of misinformation, they didn't have the internet back then, but they used what they had to spread lies throughout the black community, test the black vote, and that's how they brought an end to Reconstruction. By suppressing the black vote, and when they couldn't suppress it, they used violence to keep people away from the polls. And they took over the elections. They threw the election into the House of Representatives. They won the presidency by 1 vote, and they brought it into Reconstruction by that 1 vote. Jim Crow became the law of the land by 1 vote. People suppressed the black vote in Milwaukee, which is what Trump tried to start out on yesterday. That's what's going on here. We got to wise up.
Speaking with Jim Clyburn, who is the representative of the 6th U.S. House District in the state of South Carolina. Is a lot of this theater, this political theater that we see and all this drama coming from the likely Republican nominee overshadowing the very successful Biden political agenda? Some of the policies that the president has supported and things he signed into law have been very, very helpful for the American people. But is some of that getting lost in the theater that we're seeing?
Yes, it is getting lost, and that's what they intend for it to do. If they keep all this kind of foolishness out there, they'll have you talking about that, and nobody will be talking about the fact that Joe Biden has eliminated the debt, the student loan debt, for over almost 5 million people. 4.7, that's 4,750,000 people have gotten their student loan debts eliminated. When have you seen that on the headlines of a newspaper? And when the report came out that here was Mitt Romney on TV saying that's a bad policy, that he holding it against Joe Biden for doing that. But let me tell you something about student loan debt. These young people who find themselves not so young anymore because some of them came into debt for 20 years, if you borrowed $60,000, as one of my constituents did, you paid that debt back over a period of 20 years, and at the end of the 20 years, you still owe $119,000. You paid back the principal a long time ago. What you're now paying is compounded interest, and that's what Joe Biden is eliminating, the compounded interest. And yet these guys talking about nobody ought to be going to school for free, so I got to pay for your child to go to school. No, that child paid that principal back a long time ago, and they now got the interest out here. And the reason Mitt Romney and others are upset with it, because their friends who are making all this money off compounded interest really driving these young people into the poorhouse. They are not going to be able to make that money. And that's why they're mad with Joe Biden, because Joe Biden is not letting them make the money. They did the same thing to Barack Obama. When Barack Obama says we are not going to allow these banks to make these loans charging 8%. I got an employee who told me yesterday she's getting her master's degree. She just borrowed some money to go to graduate school, and she's paying 8% interest. Now, if a person want to open a business, they can go out and borrow money from the federal government for 1 point above prime. So why are we allowing somebody to open a business at low interest rates, but if you want to go get an education, you got these high interest rates? That's what's going on here. Let's wise up. Let's not let these people just feed you all kinds of crap, and then you're going to believe it. How can you follow a man like Donald Trump, who spent all of his time insulting the first black president of the United States, who spent all of his money, not all of it, but a big chunk of his money, taking out the full-page ad in the New York Times against 5 young people of color calling for the death penalty when they were determined to be innocent by the science. He refused to apologize and said he's never done anything that he feels the need to apologize for. That's the kind of respect he got for people of color. And you hear him, as he did yesterday, talking about Milwaukee is a horrible city. He has said that about every single city that's headed by a black mayor. Go back and check that. Every single city that's been headed by a black mayor, this man has criticized as being horrible. You cannot be more than horrible if you're black. So and I don't understand. It's the most amazing thing to me. It's strange, this self-flagellation. I just don't understand what it's about.
Speaking with U.S. Congressman Jim Clyburn of the 6th District in South Carolina, it seems like people have forgotten the success of the Obama-Biden administration. And it also seems that people either have forgotten or do not know that Joe Biden has appointed more black judges to the federal bench, appointed the first black woman to the U.S. Supreme Court, but also it seems like it's being lost on the black community, because I'm starting to hear these things we always hear every presidential election cycle. Well, what are these Democrats actually doing for us? But let me also give you your kudos, Representative Clyburn, because you added so much credibility in that 2020 campaign to Joe Biden and got him so much more African-American support. So what can we do to encourage African-Americans to just continue, more than just continue their support for Joe Biden, but to understand he actually has done a lot of things for our community?
Absolutely. Joe Biden, not just black, but black women. Black women were on the lowest point of the totem pole when it came to judicial appointments. This man has appointed more black women to courts of appeal, in federal courts of appeal in this country, than all the presidents before him combined. You combine every president appointment to the federal bench, Joe Biden has appointed more black women than all of them combined, and still doing it. Now, when that record first came out, he just appointed another black woman in South Carolina to take the place of a black woman that he put on the D.C. Court of Appeals. and he put her there because Hunter Brown, a black woman, went up to the United States Supreme Court. Joe Biden got a remarkable record of doing right by people of color. I've got a guy on my security team. When the debt got eliminated the other day, he told me between him, he combined his loan with his wife's loan. They both were paying it back over 20 years, and they had the Parent Plus loans for their children. They combined all of them into one, and it came up to $300,000, and the entire thing got eliminated because of Joe Biden. This is happening all over this country. Joe Biden will go out and have press conferences every time he does that. He just will do it. And so I think that that's what we've got to look at here. Don't get fooled by all this junk they're putting out there. Joe Biden is doing right. This administration has appointed, look at his cabinet. Look at Marsha Fudge, who went to HUD. She's now retired and going into the private sector. The Secretary of Defense, African-American, the United Nations ambassador, African-American woman. You go down through it. African-Americans, Hispanics, they are well represented in this administration, and we ought to stop all this foolishness that they got you mouthing out here, because it's just not true.
Representative James Clyburn of the 6th District of South Carolina, thank you so much for talking to us, and also thank you for your many, many years of dedicated service to federal policy and improving the lives of people in our community, sir.
Well, thank you very much for having me.
All right. You're listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. It's time for Truth Takes, a thought-provoking commentary on the new 101.7 The Truth. Here is Denise Thomas with her truth.
Truth Nation, there has been an ongoing debate in terms of what work ethic means, and primarily across generations. You hear phrases like, this new generation doesn't know the meaning of work. They're entitled. And the younger generation saying things like, the older people, they work way too hard and not smart enough. All perspectives have some extension of validity. I want to share with you something that I heard last weekend that really resonated with me as it relates to work ethic. And the quote was, a lot of people want to learn how to play the guitar, but they don't want to take the lessons. And so, Truth Nation, as we continue to have ongoing conversations about the meaning of work and work ethic, I want to ask each of us to consider what work means to us. And in terms of what we are looking to gain from whatever aspect of work that we deliver every day, is it equal to what we want to gain? In other words, are you putting in the work that's not just short game or 60 seconds or less, but the work that is going to create a long impact on whatever return on the investment looks like for you? Let's start having more conversations about the meaning of work, making sure that we're aligned on what that looks and feels like, and ultimately not giving up on doing the work, because goodness knows we got a lot of work to do.
This has been Truth Takes on the new 101.7 The Truth. Listen to The Truth Be Told with DT and Tellez weekdays from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m.
Hi, I'm Vanessa Williams, and I want to share with you the role that diabetes has had in my family. I lost my grandmother at the early age of 64 due to complications with diabetes. She was warm, generous, and a constant encouragement for me to follow my heart. Did you know that African Americans experience chronic kidney disease at a rate that's 25% higher than white Americans? And we're almost 4 times more likely to develop kidney failure. Diabetes and high blood pressure are leading causes of kidney disease, which can result in kidney failure, needing dialysis, or a kidney transplant. The good news is that you have the power to check out how well your kidneys are doing and learn ways to prevent them from failing. So go to your doctor and get yourself checked out. Visit linkbylovetv.org to learn more. Get the facts, get checked, and get healthy.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 1017 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Alex Tellez. The Milwaukee Brewers are back in action on this Friday versus a division rival in the Cincinnati Reds. Freddie Peralta is expected to take the mound versus Hunter Green. First pitch is scheduled for 7:10, with coverage beginning over on WTMJ at 6:35. And finally, over in basketball, Jason Tatum and the Boston Celtics are a win tonight away from a sweep in the NBA Finals as they are in Dallas this Friday for Game 4 versus the Mavericks. Luka Doncic and the Mavericks are looking to become the first team in NBA history to come back from a 3-0 deficit. Tip-off is scheduled for 7:30. This sports update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
He was the entrepreneur. He was an icon in the black community. He was the entrepreneur. He was been around. He was selling death.
Of political activism. I think it's fantastic when people get involved and get engaged and get curious about the system. And it's frustrating for me because understanding the system and the maze that it presents itself to be is how we are able to better improve our lives in our community. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Our vote, our political participation, our sustained political participation is something that they fear, because if you take a snapshot of don't even look at Milwaukee. Don't even look at the horrible city of Milwaukee. Find another horrible city. Find another urban area where the majority of the people that live in that city are people of color, more specifically black, but the outstate portions of those communities are majority Republican. And look at how they underfund and they defund things that are necessary for African Americans to be successful, right? They use policy to create these situations. So we can use policy to undo them, to revise them, and to improve our situation. So I love when people show up to school board meetings. I really love when people show up to budget meetings because, the city of Milwaukee has budget hearings. Milwaukee County also has budget hearings. It's not just MPS. Now, some people have gone to their first budget hearing. They went last night. And that means that they may go to other ones. The state of Wisconsin, they do budget hearings as well, and they'll do them all over the state. There will be several in Milwaukee. When you see how they prioritize our money, that's the other thing. It's our money. They are telling you how they are going to spend our money. And so there is room for public discourse when you show up and say, no, this is how we want our money to be spent. You can start having more influence. So I think this is the beginning of something fantastic, and I hope that it continues. I hope that this doesn't end with the disappointment that the recall might present. I'm going to tell y'all something about recalls, and I'm not trying to burst anybody's bubble, but I am here to be real. I am here to be honest, and I am here to keep expectations tempered. Recalls are hard. They are 5 times harder than an election. They are hard. Keeping in mind, there is still a sentiment, no matter how bad MPS is, no matter how poorly they are doing, no matter how many teachers they lay off, no matter how big the class sizes are, how bad the food is, how many trauma workers they take out of 53206, there is a sentiment in this city that the district is fine. The recall has to beat that. They have to beat that sentiment. You guys remember the last major recall that we had in the state of Wisconsin? People tried to recall Governor Scott Walker, and that was a large contingent of organized people. That essentially was labor. And labor is very strong in Wisconsin. Now, it isn't as strong as it used to be. But as far as a special interest group, I would say that for the majority of Wisconsin's history, organized labor strength has been larger, stronger, and more robust than corporate Wisconsin strength. Now, with Act 10 being absolutely the law of the land, that certainly is not true. And they couldn't recall Scott Walker. The most organized, grassroots, special interest groups all came together and marched on the Capitol, 50,000 strong sometimes. It made national news, and then you had our state legislators, our state senators that were fleeing the state because the Republicans were unable to vote on Act 10 if they didn't have a certain number of state senators that were in attendance. So they fled and they left the state of Wisconsin. It was a whole thing. And that recall wasn't successful. Now, I am not saying that this current recall of these 4 school board members won't be successful, but it's a tough hill to climb. But I got some concerns with it. I'm going to share the concerns with you so that maybe these concerns get ironed out. You got to have candidates. If you do not have candidates, then this might be a fool's errand. You can't just, so you get the signatures. We're going to talk about the signatures in a minute, and they need a lot. Here, I'll tell you what, we'll know how robust and how serious the recall effort is. And here's the thing, I want it to be. I want this to be a successful exercise in fed-up democracy, where people get fed up and then they take control of their government, because this is what I want us to do. And we have the ability and the power and the people to do it. We do, absolutely. We got the frustration. We have the motivation. We have everything that we need. So they're going to need they got 60 days to collect the necessary signatures. And when they get the signatures, okay, that then forces a special election. Now, there is a little bit of time, not a lot, but to go into this effort and not have candidates who will run against the incumbents, you're basically guaranteeing that these incumbents that are being recalled are going to get reelected. And if they get reelected during these recalls, they have even more political strength. So they're going to be even more hardened. And when they get reelected, after they beat these recalls, assuming that they get reelected after these recalls, they're going to be even more upset. So if you shoot for the king, you got to hit him. Can't miss Savanna when you shoot for the king. They try to shoot for me, but I just pew, 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 dodge them. They trying.
Good try.
Let them keep going. They don't understand what I got waiting for. Woo! I got my finger on the atom bomb. And some days, my finger, it be itching. Should I go nuclear? No, not yet.
Wait a while.
I'm going to wait. Ooh, it's going to be yucky. Oh, if they think that they can get away with that. Oh, good God. Sometimes I frighten myself. However, I digress. The recall potentially can be successful, but if you don't have candidates, then it might be a fool's errand. And these candidates need to be well-versed. They need to have strong campaign platforms, because you can't run an election and convince voters just because you're mad. You got to have a whole reform agenda. Now, someone who was able to take advantage, it was very ironic because there was a bunch of recalls of county board supervisors back in the early 2000s. A lot of people were upset about county board supervisors' very lucrative pension deals. Like, some of their pensions were like millions of dollars, and taxpayers were very mad at that. And so there was a number of county board supervisors that were recalled. And then Scott Walker decided he wanted to run for county executive in the middle of all that, but he came in as a reformer. So if voters are upset, if residents are upset, if taxpayers are upset, you can use the emotion of them being upset to force a recall election and to create political momentum, but you need candidates that are going to actually be reformers. That is the thing that I'm concerned about. Like, in the black community, our bench isn't deep. And people get real frustrated, right? Because we get black folks that get elected, and they get reelected every single time. They get reelected every term. They get reelected, because we don't have a bench. And I also think that political activism is starting to fall off with younger generations. I don't know many other than Kalen Haywood II. It's not, and he was running for the state assembly. He had just graduated from high school. We don't have a lot of that. Kalen is that's my little nephew right there.
No way.
Oh, I mean, not by blood, but that's my nephew.
Oh, I'm saying, like, you cool with him?
More than cool with him.
Not as cool as me. We went to school together.
Okay.
So that's my friend.
I know it's family.
I know it's family, too.
Well, why am I yelling?
I don't know.
Oh, we're going to have a day today, ain't we, Savannah? I'm still mad.
You might.
From yesterday when you told me to sleep on the proverbial couch. Actually, no, you kicked me out of the house.
Oh, theoretically, get over it.
Just like a woman. Don't distract me. I got very important points to make. So do the recall folk, and we're going to get to the details of how many numbers or how many signatures they need. So if you want to see how robust the recall effort is, and it might be very robust, it might be very strong, because they got to get, the low estimate is 50,000 signatures in the next 60 days. The high estimate is 60,000. So they need 1,000 signatures a day, which is very, very possible because the city of Milwaukee is not as small as you think. It's 590,000 people here. You need roughly 10% of the residents in the city of Milwaukee to sign the recall petitions. But here's what's interesting. 100% of the residents in the city of Milwaukee are going to be impacted by the MPS, by the referendum, by the increase in taxes, right? So all they need is 10% of the population's signatures. So if the effort is, in fact, robust and maybe heading in the direction of forcing a special election, y'all will see people with clipboards and petitions this weekend. You have to see them. If y'all don't see, I want you to keep your eyes peeled. If you don't see volunteers, if somebody doesn't knock on your door, if you don't see somebody at the Walmart, at the Pick and Save, at the Metro Mart, at the little corner store, at the gas station, asking you to sign the recall petition, then the effort is not going to be robust enough because they need about 1,000 signatures every 24 hours, every day for the next 60 days. That's a tall order. I'm not saying they can't do it, but if the effort is there to get that number of signatures, y'all are going to start seeing people literally this afternoon, tonight, Saturday, Sunday. They should be at churches. They should be all over the city where there's a robust population. I'm going to take a break, come back, continue the conversation. You're listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. Can't leave him alone for a 12.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions answered and hear from the biggest names in basketball. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Are you ready to find your dream home but don't know where to start? Well, I've got great news for you. Join me, Sherwin Hughes, on Saturday, June 15th from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. at North Division High School for Axe Housing's free home buying seminar in partnership with BMO Harris Bank. Visit axehousing.org today to register for this informative event where you can be put on your path toward home ownership. There are absolutely no income limits. Make this the day you build your home ownership team. Meet with Axe Housing, HUD certified home buying and financial coaches. Attend sessions on how you can build and repair your credit. And honestly, my favorite part is that you can get pre-approved for a home loan right there on the spot. Become another success story by taking your first steps toward home ownership right now by working with Axe Housing and BMO Harris Bank. So again, join me on Saturday, June 15th between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. at North Division High School in Milwaukee for Axe Housing's free home buying seminar in partnership with BMO Harris Bank. Register today by visiting axehousing.org. That's axehousing.org.
This is Ambassador Arthur Burks inviting you to the annual Reform Felons Ball. It all takes place at 100 Gems campus at 6737 North on Titonia Avenue. Tuesday, June the 18th. Doors open up at 6:30 p.m. with special guests Terrence Gangster Williams and Ken Ivey.
Hi, this is Terrence Gangster Williams. Shout out to Milwaukee. I will be out there June 18th
for the Reform Felon Bowl. Let's hang out. Shout out to all my ex-felons who came home who doing something positive.
You better call and get your free tickets while they last.
Free food and admission. Donations are accepted at the door. Pick up your tickets at All-Star Variety Shop, 4620 West on Burleigh, or call 414-509-4808. This is an AB and Winky Blue production.
When you join Educators Credit Union, you're not just another number or just another customer. You're a member owner. As a member owner, you can expect a team of people by your side helping you make informed financial decisions. Educators Credit Union is open to anyone who lives or works in southeastern Wisconsin, no matter your career. Learn more at ECU.com. That's ECU.com. Federally insured by NCUA.
It's The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Think of recall efforts and recall organizers as the prosecution. A prosecution's case has to be perfect if you are going to indict those, figuratively indict those who are committing what we believe as malfeasance in office, which is proven because they're dropping like flies. A white lady retired, somebody else stepped down, Posley took his golden parachute. Like, that's how you know. Like, if those folks believe that they were doing the right thing and were honest and forthright with the public, and if they really believe that they were doing right by the children that they all pretend they care about, y'all know that they're lying, right? We do this for the children. They can't stand black children. Y'all got to understand that. That's one thing. We can't go into this thinking that they actually love and they care for black children. They love what black children in an MPS school district brings financially. It's not the children. But every now and again, you'll have a teacher, usually a white teacher, grew up in the suburbs, got her degree from UW-Madison, wants to come be an MPS teacher because she wants to help little black kids because being black, she believes, is horrible. It's a curse. And she wants to help them and, like, educate them out of their ignorant blackness. Like, that's a prevailing attitude. A lot of times it's those same white people that want to adopt black kids because they think that black children are better off in white homes and in white families than they are in well-resourced black families and black communities. So they take our kids. But every now and again, you'll have a teacher who will just, like, fall in love with a kid. Sometimes literally, but they just have this deep sympathy because this is the first time they ever really understand, some of these teachers, see how rough and how difficult it is because they can't imagine how this child deals with what they deal with their family, deals with what they deal with in the community. This child comes to school after a family member was just shot by the police, and these teachers are like, oh my God, I gotta help him. But it's just this one kid, not the entire black community. You see what I mean? And so they'll use their affection or their sympathy for this one black kid and then go to a school board and say, I love all the children. No, you don't. It's just that one that pulled on your heartstrings. And so it's an illusion. Because if they loved our children that much, let's be clear, then they would want their children to go to school with our children. If they loved the black children that much, they would just do everything they could to bring their children in the same buildings with ours. But they will never. And that's the truth. Biggest argument I got into throughout this whole fiasco was with a public educator that does not send her children to MPS. Hell, she don't even work in MPS. Sends her kids to private schools and has the nerve to say, the community needs to understand that the district is doing everything it can. And where do you send your kid? St. Sebastian's. They all do that. They're such hypocrites because they think that, like, the standard that exists, now schools are different. Some schools are doing real good. Some are not. Most are not. Too many are not. But they think that's what black people deserve. They're almost like, back in the day, people would say, oh, just be happy you have a job. Even though you hated your job, it wasn't fulfilling your dreams and you felt useless at your job, like our parents and grandparents. But, oh, just be thankful you have a job. The attitude that they have is, well, be thankful there's a school. I mean, your kids could just be out on the street Just be happy there is a school that your kids can go to. It's the craziest thing ever. Jamel says, you mean how David Crowley had a budget tool created for citizens to try and shape the budget the way they see fit, but you couldn't make any adjustments to the law enforcement section. Good point, Jamel. Did you guys know that Milwaukee County can take over the 5 worst performing MPS schools whenever they want to? Did you guys know that? That there's a provision, it's got to be a combination of county ordinance and state laws created in 2015. I remember when that was discussed in 2015, but I didn't know there was something that was still on the books. Did y'all know that? Right now, the Milwaukee County Board of Supervisors and the county executive can commandeer as many as 5 low-performing MPS schools. I don't know if we necessarily want them to do that, but I am okay with a pilot program that has worked in other challenged school districts somewhere else in the country and us trying it here. We don't even want to try stuff that works in other places. You ever notice that? I gave you guys a list last week, maybe the week before, of other school districts that are went through what we are going through right now, like really, really low performance, low reading, comprehension and math levels, and they implemented a new type of pedagogy, and they were able to turn those schools around and make them all above expectations. Like, it exists. The formula exists. We, for whatever reason, won't adopt it here, and you got to wonder why that is. So for the people that are involved in the recall, candidates that will be running against these incumbents who may be recalled need to have these new curriculum, this new pedagogy on their mind when they face the incumbents. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back for hour 2.
We are excited to be back celebrating the 53rd annual Juneteenth celebration in Milwaukee. Make sure you join us Wednesday, June 19th, as we broadcast live from the Juneteenth celebration from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Stop by our table to play games, win Truth swag, and say what's up to your favorite Truth teammates. The 1017 The Truth celebration of Juneteenth is presented by our founding partners, American Family Insurance, Gruber Law Offices, Associated Bank, and is sponsored by Tayback Law, Molson Coors, and Educators Credit Union.
1017 The Truth and Associated Bank have teamed up for our Black-owned business give back. Each quarter, we'll be giving away $6,000 worth of free commercial advertising for 3 months to 5 Black businesses. To sign up for your business's chance to win $6,000 of commercial campaign marketing on the award-winning 1017 The Truth, visit blackbusinessgiveback.com. That's blackbusinessgiveback.com. Let's rebuild our community's backbone through exposure on the truth. For official rules, head to blackbusinessgiveback.com. Associated Bank, member FDIC.
Truth Nation, it is Denise Thomas.
And Tellez Hughes.
From Truth Be Told with DT and Tellez. And guess what?
What is that, DT?
Our Truth fans can now watch and stream us live every day, Tellez.
Wait a minute, Denise. Let me make sure I got this thing right. Our amazing and incredible Truth fans can go to 1017thetruth.com, click the Watch Live link, and watch me and you do our thing live from YouTube and Twitter every morning?
Yes, Tellez, that is exactly right. So now they can watch you almost lose your black card every Friday during our Truth Telling Hits segment.
Come on now. You know I'm never losing my black card. But Truth Nation, you gotta tune into all your favorite 1017 The Truth shows, as you can not only listen live on the app, but you can also stream us live all day, every day by going to 1017thetruth.com and clicking the Watch Live link.
One smile is great, but one smile in a community of smiles is so much better. A smile has a secret power that most people don't know about. A smile multiplies. It spreads from one person to the next, stretching across entire groups of people. Smile Train knows this and is proud to be creating a wave of smiles across the cleft lip and palate community in over 70 countries. Patients, doctors, advocates, fundraisers. Collectively, our smiles are a celebration of the transformed lives of over 1.5 million children. Learn how Smile Train is helping the cleft lip and palate community at smiletrain.org/learn. Smile Train, changing the world one smile at a time.
Milwaukee's Black Talk lives here. You are listening to 101.7 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Welcome to Hour 2 of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. So now we are in essentially day 1 of day 60 of the recall effort of 4 MPS school board members, including the citywide representative, Missy Zombor. Somebody said in the YouTube comments, Sherwin's right, all the people that need to be on the board are chicken. Considering what the climate is right now surrounding the MPS Board of School Directors, let's say that the recall organizers get the necessary signatures, which is going to be roughly 1,000 per day, every 24 hours for the next 60 days. Tall order, but it can be done. They're going to need candidates to run against those that they are recalling, okay? Also very, very possible. But you got to think hard about this. You saw some of the emotion at last night's school board meeting. You've seen the emotion, how angry and very upset that people have been at previous school board meetings going back the last month and a half. If you are a recall candidate, you're still dealing with that same level of emotion. And I don't think anybody wants to do that. Someone is really passionate about what is going on in the district, and they want to see reform, and they want to see all the student performance achieved, graduation numbers achieved. They want to see smaller class sizes. They want to see better investments in the things that can help our students become successful. But they're still going to be dealing with a public that is going to be even more scrutinizing of them than they are of the current. Because the new people, assuming they can find candidates to run against the incumbents with the recall, eyes are going to be on them. They have to be essentially perfect. And here's the thing about being a legislator. You got to take some ugly votes sometimes. And the public won't understand. Ugly votes. And who wants to subject themselves to public scrutiny when they take those ugly votes? Running for office, being an elected official is not for everybody. Being in the public eye in these days and times of America where everybody is angry. Everybody is angry. Tempers are on 10 all over the place. No one is happy. Or the happy people, either they left the country or they're just being real quiet. Because now, if you're genuinely content and happy, people will hate you for that. I know what that's like, Savanna. People just... Well, what happened was she got mad at me because she thinks I personally attacked her girlfriend. The lesbians are fierce. No, I'm saying they're... No, they do not. I think lesbians defend their girlfriends more than straight, heterosexual, cisgender men defend their wives and their girlfriends. The lesbians are, the studs in particular.
I love a good stud.
You said you love a good stud.
Yeah, they're cool.
Studs be wanting to fight sometimes. And like, as a man, like, what do I do? You're right, because then if a stud wants to knuck up, okay? And they do. They pretend. But then you hit them in the face. Now, I'm not saying you hit anybody, but in the event that I got to defend myself, stand my ground, okay? And I have to defend myself against a him, her. Then all of a sudden, the him, her, when they take the hit, they'll become very feminine. Oh my God, you hit me! I'm a girl.
Don't fight no stud, and don't be the studs. Not. It be the other ones.
What do you mean?
I don't know.
How many different flavors of studs are there?
Well, there's like, what is it called? Stems.
What's a stem?
Yes. They're kind of like the girly, like they still kind of identify with their like, well, there's feminine and masculine in everybody, right? But they kind of identify more with the feminine side, but they still have their moments.
Really?
Yeah. And then I'm learning these things too.
Okay.
Studs, of course, they dress in male clothing for the most part.
They are gentlemen. Yeah.
Yes, but then I don't know if this is a slur or not. I'm going to say it really quickly, not on the mic.
Okay, what is it? Oh, yeah, you can't say that one.
Yeah,
buddy.
Yeah, so that one, that's the ones that's going to fight.
Yes,
Studs
they will.
Are not going to fight like that. They acknowledge that they are women. So do the other ones, I'm sure, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm glad you didn't say that on the air. Even though, so that word that you said in my ear, the stud is like the evolution of that.
Sure.
But you don't want to mess with them. They get real fierce.
Those are the ones you should be fearing, not necessarily the studs.
Correct. So if you go after one of their girlfriend, not even go after, but just scrutinize their girlfriend, and then if they have like a public following, they get really super mad.
They gonna ride for sure.
That's all right. Let's talk to Steve. You're on 1017 The Truth. How are you?
Good, Savanna and Sherwin. I just got to make 3 points. Your monologue just a little while ago was dead on. I've been saying that with teachers being half Hispanic, for Black, Hispanic, or any other kids or people that are disadvantaged economically in this country. But you got to remember, when you made part of your monologue that you said Milwaukee didn't try something, you got to remember Milwaukee was the first state to do the voucher private for socioeconomic disadvantaged students. And you see how, for the most part, how terribly that went wrong, where the Republican right-wingers were so-called so concerned for these disadvantaged students that we spent taxpayers' money to direct it over there. And all they say was CCC, the MPS doesn't work. Well, you're a glutton and you're robbing the MPS system to make it better for all students. That it just didn't work. Number two is that when you said some students or teachers, of a different color, white, whatever, towards some students that are of color, that you seem they might be disingenuous and a bleeding heart liberal, if you will. Well, I used to do remodeling for a lot of these voucher private schools that are predominantly Black. Okay, fine, whatever. But the teachers, administrators, and all that did the same thing, if what you want to say. So I think it's pervasive in everybody that they were so-called concerned about the students, but then when some of the parents said to the Black administrators or teachers, where do you send your kids? Well, they send them to private schools too. So it's everybody across the board that's being disingenuous, and I'll take my answers off the air.
All right, thank you. Oh, appreciate it. The parental choice program, I support it. I have supported it. I always will support it. When you hear the term voucher, that's actually a slur. Voucher means you're giving a poor Black kid a coupon to go to a school. So MPS union members, the MTA, they oppose vouchers because no, you're taking money away from the public school system when you have more kids that get enrolled in the parental choice program that are enrolled in the voucher program. But what they're failing to realize is that because of poor accounting, MPS actually itself, the district itself, took money away from public education. The overpayments to MPS, because they weren't filing the necessary paperwork to get accurate payments for their school budgets, robbed outstate school districts of so much money that outstate school districts had to have referenda so they could have an operating budget because the money was given to us erroneously. Here's another reason why they oppose the parental choice program. They send their kids to private schools. The whole point of them supporting MPS the way that they do is so that Black and brown children stay in MPS and don't go to private schools where they send their kids. Like I said before, if MPS schools were performing at such a high level and so worthy of everyone's support, they would send their kids to Milwaukee public schools, but they don't. They send their kids to private schools away from where our children are. Let's talk to the caller. You're on 1017 The Truth. How are you?
I'm great today. An excellent job of correcting Brother Stephen on making a statement about vouchers and how it actually is a slur. I think that, King is a great example of where teachers send their kids, because it's a school where by the time you graduate from high school, you've got a lot of college coursework completed, and you're on your way to a successful life. I have several family members who have graduated from King. One of probably the most qualified politician or leader in the community amongst hundreds of other very productive people that graduated from that school. So, to your point, teachers do send their kids to better schools because they have more knowledge of what a better school looks like. So that's great. But your segue from the recall to studs was a remix that I've never heard you do. Excellent job in doing so. But I just have no words when it comes to if you had to fight a female who has a buzz cut or fade like you, and probably has taken some pills to grow facial hair. I don't know how I would react to that. I think maybe a bear hug would probably be the most appropriate, or to just restrain that person if Professor Hughes, if you get into that situation.
But some of them have like biceps, though. You can't they'll fight you. You know what I mean? You can't just bear hug them. Bald headed, scallywag.
I have another question for you, too.
Yes.
I have another question for you. When you mentioned teachers picking out one specific student, it kind of brought to mind Everybody Hates Chris and the moments that I had being a kid that was bused to a predominantly white school early when in integration time frame in the late 70s. I was in elementary school, and this school was not even what would be considered outside of the north side of Milwaukee at that time. But
what school was it?
About MPS, it was predominantly white at that time.
What school was it?
Elementary school student. Clear Park.
Okay.
Right down the street from Webster.
Yep.
So I experienced that to a very high degree. I was a very high-performing reader who was reading on a high school level by the time I was in 5th grade. But so what O.C. White did was he picked a lot of kids who scored really high on their aptitude test, and I don't think Clara Barton was aware of that. So they immediately, all the black kids, put us a grade behind in reading. Well, by 4th grade, I read all of the books from 1st through 6th, and I was in a 7th grade reading book in 4th grade before I got to Clara Barton. So what wound up happening is I was tested again, and when they found out I was nearly reading at a college level, they found a tutor who happened to be black to teach a group of us. And actually, Professor Hughes, that's how I wound up discovering black history, because she sat us in the library and also brought her own personal books for us to read. So this was an example of how that pity and that presumption that because you're from the north side of Milwaukee, you're ignorant and not as smart, actually worked in the favor of I think it was like 10 of us, because those seeds were planted by this lady who, was just a really brilliant tutor and teacher who they called in as a buffer between the white teachers who were learning in 1978 or so, 77, how to deal with black kids, like the teacher, the lady who's on Everybody Hates Chris, who assumes his dad doesn't live in the house when his dad has 5 jobs and, that thing. So I want to ask you if you could share a moment that maybe you experienced in the Brown Deer School District that would be similar to, I'm sure you had a lot of them, to what Everybody Hates Chris experienced on television.
Oof.
And I'll hang up and listen.
All right, thank you for your call. I don't know if I had any. So Brown Deer, and I went to school, all my years were in Brown Deer. So I started kindergarten in 1980, graduated from high school in 1993. So my entire academic career, post-secondary is my secondary education is high school. Elementary, middle school was all Brown Deer. But here's the thing about Brown Deer, which now as a middle-aged adult, I look back on how twisted it was. So this is why I have the attitude and perspective that I have on race, which is, it's unconventional. It's why I make fun of everybody, because race is so stupid that it's worthy of making fun of. So in Brown Deer, it was about class. My parents lived north of Brown Deer Road. Quote unquote, if you had money, you lived north of Brown Deer Road. All of our teachers knew where we lived because they would judge, categorize, and classify us based on where we lived. Yes, I was black, but I lived north of Brown Deer Road. The kids that lived south of Brown Deer Road, which were all white, because at the time, to live in Brown Deer, if you were black, you had to have an amount of money where you could afford the most expensive houses. Okay, this is at the time. This is the early 1980s. The poor kids got treated bad, even if they were white. The kids whose parents had money, and they could tell by how we dressed. They could, and plus the kids that have class in common, we all sat together.
Damn.
I saw poor white kids get disciplined. They come to school dirty, and we were separating ourselves by class, even as children. And we also saw how the teachers were treating the poor kids. And so as I am growing up, here's what I always internalized, even before I could articulate it. It is better to have money and be black than to be poor and be white. Because let's say they have all this white privilege. Okay, let's say the white people get the benefit of the doubt. They get all the opportunities. They get all the resources. Like, they get everything. And imagine if you have that built-in born birthright privilege and you're still poor. Then the white people who are well-to-do and who are middle class have even less respect for you. Because they're like, wait a minute, how are you poor? And you have this same white skin and all these privileges that I have. It was really something to behold. So I'm going to take a break, come back. We're going to talk to Miss Rose and Jamel on the other side. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be back shortly.
More of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. The Truth Family Fest is back. If you're looking for a fun opportunity to showcase your clothing line, restaurant, nonprofit organization, food truck, or small business, look no further than doing it at our Truth Family Fest on Saturday, August 17th. We are currently accepting vendor applications for our festival, and you don't want to miss out on this great opportunity to promote your business and be part of all the fun. For more information or to sign up to be a vendor, visit truthfamilyfest.com.
June 15th, the Wisconsin Black Chamber of Commerce presents A Taste of Black Milwaukee featuring Men Who Cook at the Black Chamber, 2900 West Philippe. Kicking off at 11 a.m. with the 23rd Annual Men Who Cook. Come out and celebrate our fathers, brothers, uncles, cousins, and husbands as they show Milwaukee that men can cook. The day before Father's Day. Come sample the goodness and vote for that one that made you go back and ask for another sample. Then 2 to 7:30 p.m. It's the second annual Taste of Black Milwaukee. We're all familiar with the Taste of Chicago, where we're putting Milwaukee's black-owned restaurants on the map. Come sample some of your favorites and discover who's new on the scene. June 15th, 11 a.m. to 7:30 p.m., A Taste of Black Milwaukee featuring Men Who Cook, 2900 West Philippe. For more details, visit the website, twbcc.com. That's twbcc.com.
Associated Bank knows your small business isn't just a venture. It's your dream and a vital part of the community. And we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We're looking out for you. That's why Associated Bank offers quick online applications and approvals with funding in as fast as one business day, checking with no minimum balances or maintenance fees, and prompt customer service. Explore our products at associatedbank.com/business or visit a branch for more details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know whether it's a new home or a new car. You've worked hard to achieve your dreams, and we work hard to protect them so you can enjoy the utmost peace of mind. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Adrian was seriously injured when a careless driver merged into her lane.
Gruber was there for everything that I needed. Any questions that I had, Gruber was there. They made me feel like everything about my situation and my accident was very important to them, and that made me feel good. And I would definitely call Gruber again for that.
Serving Wisconsin for over 35 years, Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
They go above and beyond for their clients.
This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Chicken, chicken haters. Chicken haters. Chicken haters. Chicken haters. Chicken haters. haters.
Because, like, this song is for one particular person. All right, let's talk to Jamel. You're on 101.7 The Truth. How are you?
Good, Sherwin. How are you today?
I'm doing well, thank you. What's on your mind, sir?
Well, I just wanted to kind of chime in on the conversation on the recall. Let me first start off by, giving you my gratitude for, continuing to make attempts at educating the community around these processes. I think what you do is very important. In regards to the recall, it may on the surface for a lot of people look like an insurmountable task to pull down all the needed signatures to pull this recall off. And I think the people that are organizing this are very aware of that. One thing I will say is every victory is not weighted the same. And what I mean by that is just because the recall may not happen doesn't mean that there can't be victories and things that we can look to as progress through that process. One of the things that I know and you know that has happened with MPS that a lot of the public has not been aware of is just now recently becoming in tune with is the teachers union takeover of Milwaukee Public Schools. Last night was another very crystal clear example of how that white supremacist rooted organization has tried to not only bully but intimidate our community into folding to their will. We can no longer accept this as a community. This experiment with this union running our school district has to end now. We have to work as a community to take back this school district because if we do not, like you mentioned, that bill that was passed in 2015 where the county can come in and take over, for anybody that thinks that this Republican-led legislation in Madison has ever stopped working towards taking over MPS is sadly mistaken. I say all that to say this board leadership and this union leadership that has worked in concert to create this disaster we now know as MPS is literally what has led us to this moment. This is four school board presidents worth of history that literally walks us to this moment. We see that this union shows up with green shirts on when it's time for them to collect their check. They have been silent and sat on their hands as we worked through this process over the last 2 months with all of these audits, investigations, resignations, and everything else. They have sat idly silent through this process. They will be harmed first. As this money from this referendum comes through the door, now through their board members' decision-making, their appointed administration's decision-making, we're looking at potentially all of that referendum money literally going right back to the state because of the malfeasance and lack of capabilities that resided in MPS administration. That's where we are today. So now, again, saying all that to say, the recall effort is going to be a big task for the people that are leading that charge. Absolutely. But we have to continue this pressure not only on these board members, but on this system as a whole. Our community deserves to have a sound school system. Part of the breakdown in our society here in Milwaukee, part of what has created the Kia Boys, part of what has created a lot of this violence and a lot of these issues that we see in our community is a direct reflection of a breakdown in our education system. Like I said directly to Keith Posley's face in the last meeting he sat in, how many Kia Boys did your policies and decisions create last month? Because we know that's the reality. There has been zero progress through this whole process of this takeover and of Keith Posley's tenure in charge of MPS. Every measurable that you can look at, from proficiency to suspension rates to recruitment of educators and everything else, is in the toilet. If now is not the time for our community, as a whole, the black community especially, because our community is suffering the most in all of this. If we don't at least make a valiant effort and take a stand and make a good attempt at taking this school district back, in under 5 years, MPS will not exist the way we know it today. They have walked every level of government through the front door with warrants, investigations, and audits. We will be fools to continue down this path with this leadership as it sits here today. Fools.
Jamel, before you go, and so thank you for that. That was fantastic and beautifully articulated. In the event that they're able to force these recalls, if you run for a school board seat, I will write you a max contribution, and I will find 5 of my friends to also match that. You need to be on that board.
Sherwin, listen, I appreciate your sentiments. I appreciate your listeners and the community sentiments and wanting to build that confidence and put me or even a person like me into that position. Let me be very clear. What my family personally has endured through the last 6 or 7 years through this process of MPS, through this process of Keith Posley's administration, through this process of the teachers union taking over MPS. My wife is a dues-paying union member. I am not an anti-union person, but the pain, the attacks, the suffering that my actual family has personally had to go through, which has actually been ratcheted up over the last week or so, where my wife is now being publicly attacked by former school board president Larry Miller, whose policies, procedures, and decisions also helped lead us to this moment. The level of disrespect and just attacks that have been waged against my wife and my family leading up to right now, this moment today, because those people are still attacking and making attempts on my wife's livelihood and my family today. Last night, there was a woman attached to the union that stood there on the record, gave testimony, stating that we are connected and being funded by the City Forward Collective. Let me say it loud and clear for everybody that can hear my voice. We have never, will never, don't want any money from City Forward Collective. We are not attached to any organization. Me personally, I am not a member of anyone's organization. Okay? And so all that being said, the political climate that exists around MPS today is not a safe space for a person that's as radical and as open-minded as I am. They have created a system and a space of such high levels of toxicity that I would be doing my children a disservice to put my family through more of what we've already had to endure for my wife's valiant real work that she has done through the district that she's been ostracized for by this same white supremacist-led system that we are now as a community going up against. So, again, I appreciate everyone's sentiments and people thinking that I may be a great person for that moment. I'm not here to be anybody's leader. I'm not here to be anybody's school board director. What I am here for is to work towards making my community that I not only grew up in, but now I'm raising children in, whole. That's my role here. So whatever support I can give to people that are working towards that, I have tried to do that. Some people may not agree with my language and my antics. What I say to those people is, you have not walked in my shoes. You have not been where I have been through this process. You have not seen and felt what I have seen and felt through this process. So I respectfully will keep my name and my family out of MPS official board business because it would not be fair to my children to put them through that.
All right.
Period.
So did I hear maybe in there? No? Okay. All right.
No, it's a hard no for me. And honestly, a lot of people approach my wife the same way. And right now for our family, as far as we all, just as good as anybody, the school board don't pay squat.
Yeah, that's true. You don't do it for the money, that's for sure.
Right. And at the same time, she can't continue to be an educator and be on the board. So for our family and where we are in our lives right now is just not the right time for us to be involved at that level.
Okay.
We feel like we feel like our service to the community is kind of where we need to put our efforts right now because our community is suffering as a whole. We need to better educate and better engage our community as a whole in these processes that are happening around us. You know, like I pointed out about the county executive, who I know personally. His daughter and my daughter are best friends. They've grown up together in school. I know David Crowd. I can call him right now on his phone and have a conversation with him. But I've been disappointed in some of his policies and decisions as well, like the budget thing. To sit here and tell the community, yeah, we want to hear your vision of what the budget should look like, but we can't talk about police. That's short-sighted and disingenuous to this community.
All right, Jamel, we appreciate your sentiment, man. All right. Have a good weekend, sir.
Thank you, Sherwin. Keep up the good work, my brother.
All right, thank you. So here's the risk that he is running by sounding that good. If they force the recall, they'll need the signatures in 60 days. The signature will be verified. Then that's going to trigger a special election. If there is a special election for 2, 3, or 4 school board members and there's no candidates, someone is going to write somebody's name in. He would win as a write-in candidate, so he may not officially want to run. But if the amount of people that sign the recall petitions write his name in, he'll be elected to the school board. Savanna, I'm going to write your name in.
You should.
You're Savanna with no H, right?
Correct. Two N's.
2 N's, no H.
Yes.
Okay. I'm take a break, come back. Miss Rose going to be mad. She's been on hold for half an hour. We'll talk to her on the other side. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
The Empowerment Small Business Loan Program, we're talking about up to $5 million, which for small business owners, we need that. That's like payroll, that's resources. So can you just let us know what is the program and why is this lending program so important to Old National Bank?
Years ago, our CEO, Jim Ryan, this program is his brainchild. He was working with Roland Shelton, who you know, Denise, out of Evansville, and they identified that African-American business owners, Hispanic business owners, Native American business owners, as well as women business owners had a difficult time in obtaining financing from the traditional credit partners. And so we went out, created a program, launched it last year, 2023. And so far last year, we have helped over 100 successful minority and women-owned businesses with about $25 million in loans. We've already started this year with almost $8 million in approvals, again, geared toward minority business owners and women business owners that normally had difficulties in obtaining traditional credit finance.
It's time for Truth Takes, a thought-provoking commentary on the new 1017 The Truth. Here is Sherwin Hughes with his truth.
I think you're spoiled. You have too many choices. We sometimes forget that having choice is a luxury. I can remember when I was a little kid, I either ate what my mother cooked for dinner or I starved. I didn't have the luxury of choice. Now we can choose anything and everything. We can choose which apps we want to be a part of. We can go and pick a new mate. We can decide what food we want to order. We have an unlimited amount of choice, and I think that we forget that choice is a luxury. You are either a winner or you're a loser. You're either going up or you're going down. You're either free or a slave. You're either woke or you are asleep. Those are called binary choices, and it's tough for people to understand just having two choices in a world that inundates us with unlimited choice. I know you don't like the candidates that are on your ballot come November. Guess what? They probably don't like you either. But you only have a binary choice. You either want this country to excel and succeed and explore new industries and be honest and fair about racial inequity. You either believe in climate change or you don't. You believe in democracy or you don't. You want a country that will do whatever it can to help people, all people, regardless of gender identity, regardless of national origin, or you want to take the low road and vote for the person that only wants to help himself with no regard for anyone else. Choice is a luxury. Unfortunately, too many of us forget that it's a luxury. Binary choice is all you have in November. I hope you choose wisely.
This has been Truth Takes on the new 1017 The Truth. Listen to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes weekdays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Our phone number is 833-212-1017, 833-212-1017. Jay, the math teacher, says, crazy. The Supreme Court just struck down the ban on bump stocks just ahead of the conventions and election season. Now anyone who doesn't agree with an outcome, a protest, or a particular group of people and wants to cause harm now has another tool to do so, a tool proven to be deadly, the Vegas 2017 shooting. I have a whole, show that I can do on bump stocks. So they were banned by executive order via Donald Trump. And I don't know if y'all can appreciate banning a bump stock is about as anti-gun and as anti-NRA as you can possibly get. But when Trump did it, there was no flack, no heat, no pushback. Gun nuts and gun right activists and NRA people stayed silent. That is a political mechanism that we need to understand. If you want gun reform in this country, it can't come from the Democrats. It has to come from the Republicans. It has to come from the political party that supports the Second Amendment. It's unfortunate, but they have to be the ones to decide if they want to curtail the use or the consumer availability of certain types of weapons of war in consumers' hands. But it takes an act of Congress, and so Donald Trump used an executive order. The Supreme Court determined it was unconstitutional to ban the bump stocks. Now, Congress can take the matter up. They probably will not. But here's the other thing. Who said that? Jay, the math teacher. There's so many other kinds of weapons that whether bump stocks are legal or illegal, it doesn't matter because there's so many other types of weapons that are available right now. Because all a bump stock does, it just takes a semi-automatic weapon and it simulates that weapon being an automatic. But there's already so many weapons that are already out there in circulation that whether bump stocks are available or not is not going to matter all that much. Let's talk to Miss Rose. Thank you for holding. You're on 1017 The Truth.
Oh, thank you. I'll tell you something. I didn't mind waiting because that gentleman before me said some of the things I was going to share with you, but also that he has so much a better way of articulating his thought process. These are the people that some of us need to get together and strategize for those who don't know what's happening. Because one of the things I was going to deal with was education of the recall. I saw somebody try to wanted me to sign a paper, but they didn't have the papers with them, and they never got back to me. And I was telling them that you got to make sure you have somebody.
Miss Rose, can you tell us when that was?
This was, you mean when I was in the store? Let's see, when was it? Today is what? Friday? Yeah. It was either Wednesday or Thursday.
That was something else, because this recall, they just submitted their paperwork yesterday.
No, this is the board. This was 2 days ago that they said they had the recall papers in the car, and they texted me at the store, and they never got back to me. This is dealing with the recall of the school board. And so whether they had the papers or not, I don't know, but they never got back to me. Maybe that's why they never got back to me.
Well, they couldn't circulate papers before the recall committee was actually created, so I'm wondering if – I hope that's not a misstep.
Okay, I'm just telling you what happened.
No, I have to track, because I want to hear from you all on Monday, because if the recall effort is going to have any possibility of success, everybody who listens to this program should have been approached.
But I was approached, and that's what I was going to say about education. But what's happening is all the people that are involved in these groups are aware of what the needs of the background of what is needed. And I was just saying to them that make sure you got somebody to run in a place where if you recall somebody. That's all I said to them, to the lady and everything. So and they told me that they probably aren't aware. And these are things that happen when groups want to do things. They don't get the education. They need to know the whole information about how the government works and who's responsible for getting monies to that you have to request proposals. Write something as a group sometimes, like that recall would be writing as a group of what you want. But people are pushing for Trump. Most of them, I find out that they're either, if they have never written a proposal to the Democratic Party to request, they think everything should be done on a verbal basis. And I think that's one of the problems we need to push to those thinking that Trump will be the best person, because they never put their energy into doing the required physical work of writing things and presenting them. When they talk about the other people that come into our country, and I say, yeah, they probably have an organization that did all the writing for them. And the thing is, the logic of what's happening is not really explained to the people. People don't think about one thing, they're one-minded, or they've been paid to or given some sort of compensation to push for Trump. Because I cannot understand how black men, especially, because this is what they're pushing for, because they know the black men many times are the ones that get the worst deal, and they look at things from narrow things like some of Trump's supporters. And I hate to say it, but some of the black men fall in that same group that he talks about, of a negative basis, that Trump talks about under his negative basis. So, and the thing is, and black men don't want to have a hard time when they realize that they were on the wrong track of admitting directly that they were wrong, so they might do it indirectly, but basically they'll keep saying, oh, I'm going to vote for Trump, I'm going to vote for Trump's type of stuff. But they might not vote for him at the end because they just don't want you to know that they agree with you. And the last thing was dealing with the school board. A lot of times the pushing of how you deal with the information that you want to get them over. How many people know who controls the monies that come from the federal government and the state government to help make changes in the local government? Because these people do, especially these black men that were talking about going for Trump, most of them don't really understand what they feel that all they have to do is say, I am black, I want this, and I don't have to write it down. You should know what I want. They don't understand that the executive of the United States is not an initiator of anything on their own per se, unless they have something of a support from the people who want it. So they, like grants and all this stuff, all these proposals, when people get together and write something down, they can say, oh, they got the support. These are the things that people forget. If you want to get something done, and I told these different guys and things about that, and I gave them information, and they still haven't done it, and they still go around talking as though they don't support them because the government hasn't done anything for them. That's because they never realized they knew what they had to do, but they aren't going to do it because they really don't want to do it, because even, as I said before, they might be compensated for it. And as far as the school board thing, it's pathetic that people are going to be crucified by the ignorance of not only white folk, to black folk too, destroying properties and doing things to people who fight against what these so-called Republicans thought process people believe in. The women always said, what makes a man is basically done by what the white man, who is the most violent of all. And when they take on that fight violence, they take it all the way. That's one of our problems. So we got to get rid of it in our community, that white man mentality of violence. That if I can't have it, I'm going to take it. That mentality is still embedded in our, not only black men, but in the whole black culture and all the ethnic cultures. All of a sudden, education. And I'd like to know, what was that gentleman's name in front?
Jamel Harris.
What's his name?
Jamel Harris.
Okay, is he related to any of the Harris doctors?
I don't know. It's a popular last name, Miss Rose. Every other black person's last name is Harris. I don't know. Maybe.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, thank you. I just wanted to know, because, I'm going to try to see if I can get a chance to talk to all these people that really are progressive, that know and want to make a change. sometimes you can't get involved in doing it yourself, but you can set up a mechanism to get people more aware to help them get it done.
Okay.
So
thank you very much.
Have a blessed day.
All right, then, Miss Rose. I don't know what happened. I just let her talk. Because if you interrupt her, she gets real mad. She gets hopping mad. So I just let her. A lot of negative stuff about black men, of course, because, duh. Father's Day weekend, of course. Black men are horrible. We're just worthless. Difference between Mother's Day and Father's Day would be a restaurant. Moms eat free. Dads 3% off. So that's pretty much the difference. The recall effort is probably going to need 100 people to get 600 signatures each in 60 days. Here's the other thing about the effort. And I'm not criticizing the effort. I want it to be successful, because if it's successful, then it will lead to other people seeing political success and wanting to be more proactive in being involved in their government. Jamel was right. There will be other victories along the way, even if the recall ultimately is not successful. You can't have, you ain't gonna want to hear it. You can't have black women with braids and tattoos going and knocking on doors in Bayview getting recall signatures. They're going to slam the door in your face. You can't have black women with dreadlocks and tattoos going to the Hispanic South Side, especially if they don't know any Spanish, and expecting those people to sign the papers. You need individuals in the effort that are reflective of the different neighborhoods in the city, because I'm going to tell y'all something right now. I'll be honest with you, and I live in the hood. Everything in my neighborhood is black. The cars, the people, the children, everything. You get a 22-year-old Caucasian wearing his University of Pennsylvania T-shirt knocking on my door asking me to sign something that he's politically involved in, I'm slamming the door in his face. You're in the wrong neighborhood, buddy. I wouldn't do it. If I can't relate to the person, then chances are I'm not going to be involved in your movement. I'm just saying, we got to be realistic about what this city is. And I think people that are emotionally invested in the effort think that everybody is as emotionally invested as they are. They are not. Some of them will take one look at us and then decide that they would have been a part of the recall. Oh, they would have signed a petition, but it's too many black people circulating the nomination or the signature forms. No, thank you. You think that they want black people to be politically powerful? Because that's exactly what this is. This is African Americans saying, hey, you know what? We want better. We're not going to deal with the corruption and the malfeasance. We're not going to deal with this because it's impacting our children, our community. There's a lot of white folks that want this system to stay exactly how it is right now. I'm going to take a break, come back, read some text messages, and what do we got going from the peanut gallery? Oh, they're all over the place. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. We'll be back shortly.
More of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes is next on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, join me, Sherwin Hughes, on Saturday, June 15th from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. at North Division High School for Axe Housing's free home buying seminar in partnership with BMO Harris Bank. Visit axehousing.org today to register for this informative event where you can be put on your path toward home ownership. There are absolutely no income limits. Meet with home buying and financial coaches who will answer any and all of your questions you have about the home buying journey. Get pre-approved for a home loan on the spot and so much more. Register today by visiting axehousing.org.
Hi, I'm a volunteer for Donald Trump.
Yeah, what do you want?
Your vote! Come on, Trump's our guy. He says he's the best guy ever for Black America. Better than Barack Obama.
Better than Obama? Trump's the guy who told America Obama was born in Africa. Never respected him enough to even accept him as president. All his white supremacist friends loved that one.
Man, that is old news.
Old news? Here's what's not old news. Trump is telling us right now he wants to be a dictator. Says he'll rip up the Constitution. Says there'll be a bloodbath if he loses again like last time.
Yeah, I wish you hadn't heard that.
Trump calls all those white folks who attacked the Capitol on January 6th heroes and patriots. He wants to pardon them. What do you think he'd be saying if it had been black folks who attacked the Capitol?
I don't know.
Yes, you do. He'd call them criminals and thugs, say they should be in jail, and throw away the key.
Yeah.
Get out of here, man. I'm sticking with Biden.
Me too.
I'm Joe Biden, candidate for president, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Biden for president.
Hi, I'm Vanessa Williams, and I want to share with you the role that diabetes has had in my family. I lost my grandmother at the early age of 64 due to complications with diabetes. She was warm, generous, and a constant encouragement for me to follow my heart. Did you know that African Americans experience chronic kidney disease at a rate that's 25% higher than white Americans? And we're almost 4 times more likely to develop kidney failure. Diabetes and high blood pressure are leading causes of kidney disease, which can result in kidney failure, needing dialysis, or a kidney transplant. The good news is that you have the power to check out how well your kidneys are doing and learn ways to prevent them from failing. So go to your doctor and get yourself checked out. Visit linkmylovetv.org to learn more. Get the facts, get checked, and get healthy.
When you join Educators Credit Union, you're not just another number or just another customer. You're a member owner. As a member owner, you can expect a team of people by your side helping you make informed financial decisions. Educators Credit Union is open to anyone who lives or works in southeastern Wisconsin, no matter your career. Learn more at ECU.com. That's ECU.com. Federally insured by NCUA.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
This is a story about control. My control. Control of what I say, control of what I do. And this time I'm gonna do it my way. I hope you enjoy this as much as I do. Are we ready? I am. 'Cause it's all about control. And I've got lots of it.
I kind of want to let this whole song play. When Janet came out with this album, I was young. 5th grade. Music was different back then because the ways in which we heard music, the way we received it was way different than now. Music right now is everywhere. It's on your computer, it's on your mobile device, it's on your smartphone. Back then, you had to buy music with money, or you listened to the radio. Or if you were privileged, you had cable and had MTV and BET, which a lot of people did not have. But music was, I don't know, I don't want to say it meant more. It was more, good music was special, right? Remember when a song came on the radio? Remember what entertainment was back in the day when you called a radio station and you would actually make a request and they played it? You go nuts. We were such simple people back then. I know somebody can relate to that. You would call a radio station and the damn phone would ring forever. Remember that? The phone would ring for 15 minutes. And then and they were always rude. Yeah, Hot 97, what do you want? Hi, can you play Control by Janet Jackson? Got it! Hang up on you. And you would listen to that damn radio for the next how many hours? That was genius, because guess what? While you were waiting for your song to play, you're bombarded with commercials. So you're listening to the radio, waiting for your song, but you were being hit with all that advertising. Oh, it was a glorious time. Oh, sometimes I wish for simpler days. Everything is all complicated now. I'll tell you, the last, 2 months, all of a sudden I'm working harder than I've ever worked before. I'm going to meetings, I'm in strategy sessions, I'm doing this. And this upcoming presidential election, I'm being overworked because of this as well, because the stakes are so high, and a lot of us that have certain professional positions have been enlisted to do a whole bunch of other things because that is how serious this is, but I'm working very hard. Like today, I got 2 meetings after the show. One I got to drive to. And then tomorrow morning, I'm at the Axe Housing home buying seminar from 10 o'clock until 2. So I can't even be hungover tomorrow.
Damn.
I know. Work is never done, but it's all for love of community and the furtherance of democracy. Where's my text message tab at? Let's see. You know what I should do one day? I should take people through a day in the life of being a radio host. I'm not putting it on TikTok, Savanna. That is not going to happen.
I will upload it. It's kind of my job to do that anyway.
You're not here early enough. The work starts at 7 o'clock in the morning. You think I get here at 9.
Well, yes, I did think that. But I'm saying, just send it to Kyle, and I'll tell Kyle to send it to me, and I'll put it on TikTok.
This is just me thinking out loud. I don't know if I'm ever going to do it. From when I wake up in the morning, like what my day actually looks like, and then even after the show, when I got to record scripts and record commercials, Carrie's always running around with a camera trying to capture social media content. It's just a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff y'all don't see. Y'all think I just show up here and talk, which is actually a compliment. I wish I could. The people that just show up and talk, that don't prepare, you can tell. You absolutely can hear the difference in their content and their output when they just show up. Because some days you don't have anything to talk about. That's not fun. I remember the early days where I was like, I don't know what I'm going to talk about for 3 hours, and you get very nervous. That's when you have to lean on other people. You got to lean on callers. You look over at the phone, ain't nobody calling. Because you can't be silent. You got to always keep talking. But the more you do this, the easier it actually gets, but also the standard gets higher for you as well. So I'm going to take a break, and we're going to come back for hour 3 of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes.
Truth Nation!
And all our juicy jammers out there.
Make certain that you tap into Jam with Juice each and every day so you can quench your thirst.
That is right. You already know you can sip on us every single day, like Benjamin said, from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. But that's not all, y'all.
Catch us exclusively on YouTube for our 6 to 7 show.
Yep, only on Thursdays.
Catch Jammin' with Juice each and every day on 101.7 The Truth.
Now sip on that.
101.7 The Truth and Associated Bank have teamed up for our Black-owned business give back. Each quarter, we'll be giving away $6,000 worth of free commercial advertising for 3 months to 5 Black businesses. To sign up for your business's chance to win $6,000 of commercial campaign marketing on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth, visit blackbusinessgiveback.com. That's blackbusinessgiveback.com. Let's rebuild our community's backbone through exposure on the truth. For official rules, head to blackbusinessgiveback.com. Associated Bank, member FDIC.
Carrie, where's Tori Lowe and Dr. Ken at? I'm trying to knock these commercials out.
How am I supposed to know, Sherwin?
Well, I'm about to do their parts because my impressions are on point anyway. This is Dr. Ken Harris from Truth in the Afternoon, and I want you to download the Truth app in the Google Play Store and Apple Store so you can never miss my show or any of the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. Really, Kyle?
Sherwin, you are crazy.
Sherwin, your impression of me is horrible. Move. Give me my mic. I guess I'll just repeat what Sherwin said. Go to the Google Play Store or Apple Store to download the 101.7 The Truth app today so you can take the home of Milwaukee Black Talk with you wherever you are.
Can't listen live? Download the new 101.7 The Truth app on your smartphone today to catch up on all your favorite shows. Search 101.7 The Truth on your Google Play Store or Apple App Store so you don't miss out on any of the action.
Prostate cancer screening is a simple blood test. It's a simple blood test. Get it done. Your family history of prostate cancer increases the risk for all the men in your family. It's a simple blood test. Get it done. Prostate cancer is most treatable when it's detected early. It's a simple blood test. Get it done. Men, it's your life. That's why it's so important to talk to your doctor about getting tested. If you want info on how to take action, the Prostate Cancer Foundation is here to help. For more than 30 years, PCF, a leader in scientific breakthroughs, has funded cutting-edge research that speeds new treatments into clinics, helping patients live longer with fewer complications. Go to pcf.org to learn more about prostate cancer and how you can advocate for yourself. Remember, it's your life, and it's a simple blood test. Get it done.
Breaking news, weather, entertainment, and sports. We have it all here. This is 101.7 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Welcome to hour 3 of The Truth with me, Sherwin Hughes. Father's Day weekend, right? Hold that thought for a moment. I hear a lot of negative things being thrown around about black men. How do we get this way? Whether it is we've lost our way, we're violent, there's certainly criminality as a part of black male culture, right? I'm not saying it's all of black male culture, but when you think of African-American men, I'm sure at some point that comes to mind. How do we get this way? How did so many of us decide that Donald Trump is the best representation of who we are and what we want our futures to be? How did we get this way? Somebody needs to answer this question. How did black men get in the position that they are in? Look at all these other racial and ethnic groups, man, even other minorities. How did we get here? What's wrong with us? And why is it us? Why is it not East Indian men, Pakistani men, Mexican men, Puerto Rican men? Why is it us? Why do we have all the negative statistics? Is it our fault? Is it somebody else's fault? Is it the media? Is it music? Is it the raps music, the hip hops? Is it the breakdancing? Is that what you blacks do? You breakdance? Like, what is it? How did we as black men get such a bad image? Why does the world look at us the way that they do? What have we done to deserve this? And maybe it's totally our fault. Let's talk to Corey. You're on 101.7 The Truth. How are you?
Say my full name, please.
All Savanna typed on my little screen was Corey. She didn't say the East Side part.
But you know who it is, though, so don't put it on me. You know it's Corey.
We got several Corys to call.
You know this is the Corey. The East Side Corey.
You got to be specific.
Too much.
Don't get mad at me now.
Oh, because you be trying to bust me out. It be you.
Savannah, if I wanted to bust you out, you would be busted. So I'm giving you a reprieve.
Right back at you. Right back at you. Let's focus on Corey.
Hold on, Corey. You sit down for a second. I'm talking to Savannah right now.
No,
Savannah, you getting
no problem. Go ahead.
Focus on Corey.
This is exactly why I was calling. Please demonstrate. Have at it, y'all.
You over here instigating. See, leave it up to the gays.
Encouraging.
Unbelievable.
Well, I got answers to both of your questions since you were asking so many damn questions.
Right.
I have the answers for you.
Well, then answer my question then.
Which one shall I answer first?
I don't know. You said you had answers for both of them. Wherever you want to dive in the pool.
The intimidation on the world of the black man has to deal with the phallus. It always comes down to that. The power instrumentation, our musculature, our natural ability, our aerodynamics, our ability to exceed in sports, lifting, heavyweights, and good looking too. The darker the berry, the sweeter the juice. That's our threat. We can't help it. That's the way God made us. We're the alpha.
We are. That's
Period.
right.
That's it. So it's nothing to be ashamed of. It is to be elevated, but never abused. When it is abused, it's disgusting. That's what we have with the dating situation.
So you said it starts with the phallus.
Absolutely.
Okay.
100%. I happen to be an expert on that.
Hey! Slow down!
Bring that back.
Slow down.
Well, you know it's Friday and the sun is out, and you know when the sun is on my melanin, it enhances something. It takes me back to my roots.
Then maybe you need to go in the house and get out of the sun because you over here sounding like Al.
Well, you know,
boing, boing, boing.
Now, then my second feature was the key to the success of this great radio station, is not just the great stars that it elevates, but it is the supporting staff and also the engineers that run your show.
Period.
And help. And you have been blessed with some very talented young people that are doing their own thing and shining. This particular young lady that you have here, yesterday you all were play fighting. I got to tell you, I stopped in my tracks. I had to replay that. That was like radio gold. Please, more of that banter. You guys were working on something that was so beautiful to hear. It was like listening to a modern day Al Crampton and Alice. To the moon, Alice, which started out on the radio. I don't know what that was, but please,
I think it was real.
Take a topic, and it felt real. It felt spontaneous, but it felt real. You're onto something there. Take an issue and have a play fight with your sparring partner.
Wouldn't
there.
play.
I felt that. I don't know where that came from.
The woman did not just say it wasn't play. You always disregarded my feelings.
And I just told you that it was. So now what's up?
You know, I'll talk to you after the show.
Oh, okay.
All right, we got company right now. You know, you got this man on the phone.
Hey, Eastside.
Hey, girl. What you wearing?
You know what, y'all? Hold on. Y'all gonna pretend like I'm not even here?
Anyway, so what were you saying, Corey? Go ahead.
See there? See? All right.
I'm a lovely TikTok. You're on something, Sherwin. You really got some talent there, and that was a great supporting staff.
Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you
Have
very
a great
much.
weekend, you guys.
All right, you too.
All right.
I'm gonna need one of y'all to come get this gal over here getting too big for her britches. Let's talk to. Hello, Al. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing wonderful. Wonderful. Well, the answer to your question, see, I think the real problem is everybody recognizes the potential of the black man, but the black man won't take the potential and use it to be his bigger force. You know, because some black men don't want to put in the work to hold the torch. So for those who stand with Donald Trump, it's easy to be the man on the bottom when you ain't bold enough to get to the top. And then you have to understand the fascination with a lot of black men with Donald Trump. They're looking at his skin color, and they're looking at the fact he does not have no etiquette. Coke 45 and joints. You know, so that's the fascination because these black men know they're not on Donald Trump level in any way, shape, or form. They can't go through a sundown town. And if they was in a sundown town, they probably would be what a snow bunny as they all praise and preach. You know, so that's the thing. See, black men have so many talents and so many formulas and so many master keys. That's why they go out their way to use black men as an example of them to be fair. See, because the biggest hatred with people with Donald Trump is coming from his own people. It's not the black man, but they fear the black man because they know if they come against the black man, that is a power and strength they cannot overpower. That's why they're always screaming and shouting about their guns, because without their guns, they're cowards. And when you look at their history, the only way they can overpower somebody is with their guns. And then you got to look at our skin. You got to look at our mind, and even our organs on the black market is billions of dollars. So I just wanted to share that. But I will say black men need to start speaking up. So when these people say stuff, black men should not be saying take your money and run. They got to stop talking with that defeat mentality. They have to be like the auntie who will come from the back road of Alabama and her 77 Eldorado will rest with the high-rise wheel and the fifth wheel on the back, who will jump out with two 800-pound alligators and say, try me now. Because keep in mind, they were the killers of the family. But then has been told they have to either dumb it down, you know, be professional, be careful what they say. And that is why we are feared today. That's why they get nervous. Only thing they don't get nervous around black men is their daughters. Because I told you yesterday about that service, and even some of the doctors can tell you. And also, I can tell you, too.
What service? I don't remember you talking about no service. What service you talking about?
No, I said sometimes the doctors can tell the woman, you know, your cervix is kind of out of context. Because, you know, sometimes if you go big with a lot of girth, it can kind of detour the woman's cervix. You know, because everything is big with a lot of girth always can do a lot of damage when the lips spread.
Gotcha.
But I just wanted to share that. And also, I was going to say, y'all better be careful, too, because the dentist can tell by the back of y'all throats as well.
Whoa.
Have a great day. Goodbye.
So he is 100% correct on the last thing that he said. The other part about the cervix, I don't know. Maybe that's a physical symptom of having the stuffing knocked out that egg McMuffin.
What?
I didn't know about that. So, okay. So the soft palate in the roof of your mouth, okay? When you go to the dentist, and you can't see it, obviously, because it's the roof of your mouth, but like toward the back, okay? It bruises when someone performs fellatio, okay? So if somebody, you know what I mean, did the Gawk 3000, and then you go to the dentist can see that your soft palate is like black and blue and kind of purple from the Gawk.
Damn.
Yeah, exactly. So if ladies or men, if you have a dental appointment and you know when it is, you might want to refrain from the Gawk 3000 because you don't want to out yourself to your dentist. And you guys know what the Gawk is. You think they know?
I'm sure that they do.
Gawk.
Hey, now.
What?
Hey.
What? It's Father's Day. First of all, gentlemen, those of us who are dads, this is our weekend. You understand? See, that's so disrespectful. Why don't we get any love as fathers? None of y'all would be here if it wasn't for us.
And that's the problem. And I didn't want to be here.
You don't have a choice. You just sit back there and push some buttons like I told you to, woman. Oh, boy.
Sherwin?
What? Sorry. I'm just saying, it's Gawk weekend. Gentlemen, I stand with you. African-American men, we are incredible. We are fantastic. We are dynamic. We can do anything and everything. That is why they are afraid of us. And because of that, gentlemen, this is our weekend to get the Super Soaker Gawk 3000. Zach, please have my back. This is our weekend as men to get the Gawk. Zach is
swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed up?
Yes. You're listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.
More of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes is next on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
It started with a prediction.
We'll go out there and play basketball and win. And how many games? 6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
It's 101.7 The Truth, Sherwin Hughes, and you've heard me talk about the importance of home ownership and the generational wealth it can build. I understand the thought of going through the home buying process can be daunting, but my friends at Axe Housing have been helping people from Milwaukee turn their dreams of home ownership into reality for years. They have home buying coaches who will walk with you every step of the way, from getting your finances in order to getting pre-approved for a loan, searching for your home, and closing on it. They even have a great partnership with BMO Harris Bank, who offers a down payment payment assistance program where you can receive up to $16,000 toward home down payments. In addition, BMO has a community and home ownership advancement team who is passionate about serving the people of Milwaukee and have many resources for you to use, from their credit builder loan to their community home improvement loan. Let Axe Housing and BMO Harris Bank be your one-stop shop for home ownership. Come and start your home ownership journey Saturday, June 15th from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. at North Division High School for Axe Housing's free home buying seminar. Visit axehousing.org today to register.
We Energies want you to keep this important safety message in mind. Before you start digging, planting, or landscaping on your property, call 811 to have underground utilities marked. Calling 811 at least 3 business days before you plan to dig will help you know what's below and can prevent a hazardous situation. Our representatives will mark the underground utilities on your property for free. So remember, stay safe and call before you dig.
We Energies. People you can trust. Energy you can depend on.
Associated Bank knows your small business isn't just a venture. It's your dream and a vital part of the community. And we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We're looking out for you. That's why Associated Bank offers quick online applications and approvals with funding in as fast as 1 business day, checking with no minimum balances or maintenance fees, and prompt customer service. Explore our products at associatedbank.com/business or visit a branch for more details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
All insurance companies, they want to know where are your cars housed. Right. They want to know how far are you driving to get to and from work every day. They want to know all these different things for weather patterns. Are you living in northern Wisconsin, or are you living down in Tornado Alley somewhere in Kentucky? These things make a difference as to how your insurance rates are formed. I need you to be factual, and every single time somebody commits these different frauds, it all adds up, and everybody ends up paying the price for it down the road.
Erie Insurance, providing the protection you need and the service you expect, all at a great price.
This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Point, baby, do what I should, baby. Point, baby, do what I could, baby. Point, baby, do what I should, baby. Point, baby, do what I could, baby.
Welcome back to the program. Somebody said, kids listen to this show. They shouldn't. This is not always family friendly because we all are adults here. And we talk about all of the things that impact our community. And you guys know that my favorite subject is relationships, because relationships are the foundation of any community. They can be family relationships. They can be platonic relationships. They can be professional relationships. They also can be romantic relationships. All of those things are foundational, and from the strength of those relationships that I just mentioned, everything else flows. So in the event that 2 individuals come together to form a personal, intimate, romantic relationship, we sometimes talk about those many different dynamics. And it all makes sense because it is Father's Day weekend, and I want all of the dads to get the love, the respect they deserve. Fellas, you should get pampered, because we do the same thing for the ladies. Why should Father's Day be any different? Here's what's offensive. I'm just going to share it with you. It doesn't mean anyone is going to change their offensive behavior. When women take credit on Father's Day, Mother's Day is for you. You don't get to do that. It's disrespectful. It's disingenuous. And look, I get it, ladies. You believe that you have to play both roles. But you're playing a role. A woman cannot be a father. And I'm going to give you this counterpoint for all of you who are already getting mad saying, I play both mother and father. Single dads who usually keep their heads down, they're quiet. They don't make a lot of noise. You don't see them complaining about how hard life is. You just don't see them. They're doing what they have to do as men. And yes, there are single dads out there. Some very good ones. Single dads don't stand up on Mother's Day and say, I'm playing both roles, mother and father. They never, ever do that. And some single dads have every reason to be very angry at the mothers of their children. Because for whatever reason, assuming this man is not a widow, these women left. That's almost unfathomable, isn't it? How a mother can leave her children. But I assure you it happens every day and probably more often than you think. And in those events where this man who's raising the children, who was left by this woman, she doesn't even want her kids anymore. On Mother's Day, he doesn't try to steal the day from other mothers. All I ask as we celebrate Father's Day weekend is that women who are single moms don't steal this away from dads, single dads, who usually just do what they have to do and raise their children very quietly and rarely play the victim. All right. Sonny is referencing Savanna's previous comment of maybe I don't want to be here. That's not your choice, Savanna. You were brought into the world as a gift, so you have to...
Well, I don't want to be the gift that keeps on giving. I'm done.
First of all, what do you give to anybody? Other than headaches.
Oh, presents and a headache. I'm, what is it? Fluid. I have duality. Sometimes I can make your day happy. Sometimes I might get on your nerves.
That's typical.
I'm just a girl.
Okay, that's right. Oh, now all of a sudden you're just a girl, huh?
I've always been just a girl.
Okay. Are you a strong black woman?
I said I'm just a girl.
So I don't even know what that means. It feels like I'm walking into a trap.
No, that means I'm just sometimes a damsel in distress and I need help.
Who's going to help you?
You.
Oh, I don't think you quite understand the dynamic.
Or Bob.
Oh, Bob, definitely.
Maybe
Bob will help you.
You will help me, maybe not monetarily.
Absolutely not.
I just said that. But I'm saying that you can help me in other ways. You know, give me good advice. Help me in my media career.
There you go. Sure.
You know, make me a star.
You're already on your way there. Yes. I mean, just being my producer, you're setting your course already. So,
right. Yeah.
All right, sure. I'll offer you professional advice. Absolutely. I can give you plenty of it, but you got to actually follow it.
And $1.
You make money, Savannah. I'm not. How messed up is that if I'm paying my producer when my producer already makes money? All right. Henry Davis says it's more smoke and mirrors than anything. Joe B says we went from leaders to followers. I don't think that. This is interesting because I think everything has been decentralized, right? There are no leaders anymore. Well, there might be like elected leaders, but y'all don't really listen to them because we hate elected officials. I don't know if there is an institution or an agency or a structure that black men universally follow. Maybe for a little while it was Louis Farrakhan when he did the Million Man March and then he did the 20th anniversary of the Million Man March. But I don't think that there is any one person in which we take our moral or spiritual guidance from, and maybe that's the issue. But when I say everything is decentralized, like everybody is a leader. If you have a social media following, you might be the leader of your social media following. So I don't see us collectively galvanizing behind a leader. And I can roll this into presidential politics. So I've heard your complaints and duly noted about the two men who are the Democratic President Joe Biden and the Republican nominee, the likely Republican nominee Donald Trump. And a lot of you are not happy with those two choices. Fair enough. And I hear you. And I've heard you. But then you make it seem like there's another person that we would agree on. There isn't. There is not a person that any of you could name that is universally liked by either the Democrats or the Republicans. Like right now, after these two guys, there's no heir apparent. Now, for me, I think Kamala Harris should be the next president of the United States. There's even other black women that disagree with me on that. It's simple for me. She is the vice president. She knows how the game works. She knows the policy game. She knows the political game. She's out there and she knows how to campaign. But we don't like her because we don't like anybody. Do y'all know that? Okay. Name me a political leader that has a realistic shot at winning. And I love Cornel West just as much as anybody else does, but no way. He's like a communist. His vision of America is one that does not exist, and so he can't get elected. And don't say Robert Kennedy Jr. He's a junkie. You can't. Sorry, guys, you can't give a junkie the keys to the U.S. Treasury.
Ain't that Wormhead?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
The guy that said he had a worm in his head, and he's like, "Oh, I'm fine because the worm is dead, but there's a worm in his brain." Can't vote for him.
There's this lady on TikTok that's running. I think we should vote for her.
What's her name?
Forgot.
No, you're not voting for her. You're going to vote for Joe Biden. Then after that, then we'll have a discussion on who we're going to vote for.
She has some great policies. I just can't remember.
Hell, I got great policies.
Well, then you should run.
No, I should not.
Okay, I'll run.
Don't do that. You wouldn't get any votes.
Yes, I would.
What's your platform, Savannah? What are you running on? What kind of ideas do you have? What are you going to change?
So my platform is called CARE.
Oh, good Lord. It sounds like you thought about this.
Ceasing adversity to rectify everything.
Where'd you get that from? Where on the internet did you steal that from?
I just got it from the top of my head right now, 27 seconds ago.
Okay.
That's how you know it's real.
So what does that mean, like policy-wise? How is that going to put more money in people's pockets? How is that going to fix infrastructure? How is that going to answer the issue of climate change? How is it going to solve the issue of racial division? How is it going to invest in public education? How is it going to make colleges and universities less expensive? How is it going to make healthcare more affordable? How is it going to do any of that, Savannah? You better answer in 27 seconds.
Right, absolutely. Great question, Sherwin Hughes. Thank you so much. Well, to answer your question, I think the first thing that I would do is I would dismantle capitalism and encourage anarchy just for a few months. Then I would... You
can't say that with all these white folks with guns in this country.
Right. So they're a part of the problem, right? So we're going to get rid of them and send them back to Europe and maybe even the Caucasus Mountains. So that's where we would start.
Oh, goodness. Well, you'd be assassinated.
Well, no, because I got them hitters with me.
How are you going to round up 230 million white people? How?
Great question, Sherwin Hughes. Thank you so much. So to answer that question, we would get all of the planes. We would start with Air Force One. We would get that. And then we would get all of the, rich caucus people first.
Okay.
Because that's going to take a lot of that, all those issues out, because those are the ones perpetrating and or perpetuating, rather, all the things that are going on.
You know that most of our coworkers are white.
But they're not at the top 10%, though.
Okay.
So you don't want to there.
So you want to get rid of the top 10%
first.
Okay.
First. This is all just, I'm just letting you know how it's going to go down, and then once it actually, happens and comes into fruition, then we can start with, the other tiers of caucus people.
Aren't you going to need them to actually vote for you if you are to become president? They can't vote for you if you're planning. They're not going to vote for you if you plan on deporting them.
Yes, great question, Sherwin Hughes. Thank you so much.
You need to stop with that political reply.
This is politics. So we would first have them vote for us. We wouldn't tell them it was the CARE Act or whatever it's going to be. We're going to use a platform called SPARE. So what it would be is SPARE, successfully patronizing almost really every white person. SPARE. That's how they will vote for me. And then switch it, flip the script. Gotta go. Bounce.
And so for the ones that don't want to go, what do you do with them? The ones that are really stubborn, that, have businesses here and families here and their lives are here, their history is here. What about them?
So then, thank you. Great question, Sherwin Hughes. Just to answer.
Maybe you could put them in work camps.
Yes, we would.
Okay, so you'd put them in concentration camps.
Right. Not really. Okay. That's not what we would be doing. But
re-education camps or something of some sort?
Yes.
Okay, so you'd Holocaust them. All right, this is
not Holocaust.
No.
Oh.
Okay. All right, well, thank you.
Thank you so much for your time. And make sure that you guys say, I care, you care, we care. That is my slogan. So.
All right, thank you for that. Could you imagine if a white person said the exact same thing about how they would covertly round up black people and send us back to Africa? Oh, my God.
Did Trump not say that?
You're a racist. Are you a racist?
No, I don't think I can be racist.
Why?
I might be prejudiced sometimes. I think that comes with any human being, though.
All right. If you had, and I don't know if you do or not, let's say you had a black-owned business, and you either manufactured or you distributed, let's say, a line of high-end African-American hair care products, right?
Correct.
And you need staff for your Black-owned hair care product distribution or manufacturing business, would you hire white people?
No. What is their place there?
Okay, so that's racism because you have the power to hire them and give them economic opportunity, and you are choosing not to. So racism is race plus power.
Yes.
As an employer, you have power.
Oh, okay. Thank you for your question.
All right, then. There's people actually saying that. Look at it. People are chiming in, say that they actually like this plan. No, you say no to racism in all forms, people.
Let's go.
No, I would rather everybody work together and be together and love each other and sing Kumbaya and hold hands. I want us all to be able to go to the beach together. We're one big human family. You guys are terrible. Oh, Lord, Bob is calling. I can't believe this. What did Sonny say? I already read that. You guys are insane. You ever think that maybe we're the racist ones? Has anyone ever thought about the fact that maybe... No, tell Bob this is not the time. I don't think that he needs to chime in on this because he's going to take this show in a direction that it already shouldn't be pointing in. What does the man want?
I'm going to be honest, I have no clue.
We never have a clue what Bob wants.
No, I do. Now, don't... Sherwin, do you want to be a part of the CARE Act? All right, then.
Did my producer just threaten to have me deported? Fine!
Yep, to Benin and Togo.
No, send me to where you're sending the whites. I'll be over there hanging out with the whites, and I'll be there token black. I'll be over there tailgating, drinking Busch Light.
I'm sure that's what you would want to do, but we're going to put you where you're needed.
I have a feeling you would actually bring back slavery. Well, I mean, I made it clear if slavery ever becomes legal, I already know who I'm buying.
Right, me, right?
For cheap.
Oh, God.
Yeah, for very, very
now,
cheap.
Now, you know, but I'm going to go with Bob.
How about I take a break? We come back and see what Bob has to say. You're listening to 101.7 The Truth. I'm your host, Sherwin Hughes. Don't go anywhere. I'll be back shortly.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Come escape to Lake Lawn Resort. Enjoy stunning lakeside views, on-site golf, award-winning spa, and numerous dining options, including 1878 on the lake. Dive into the pools, explore water sports, or relax by the lakeside fire pits. Experience Lake Lawn Resort's newly renovated guest rooms, part of a multi-million-dollar upgrade for ultimate comfort and luxury. Whether it's a romantic getaway, family vacation, or corporate retreat, Lake Lawn Resort has it all. Book your stay at Lake Lawn Resort today and discover the perfect blend of adventure and relaxation.
Truth Nation! Join the city of Racine for its 49th annual Juneteenth Festival. All week long, the city of Racine will be celebrating Juneteenth with events like the 3rd annual Sneaker Ball. Make sure to attend the Racine Juneteenth Parade, also followed by Racine's Juneteenth celebration. This Saturday, June 15th, at the Dr. John Bryant Center. Enjoy food, art, sports, family activities, and more. Happy Juneteenth from the city of Racine. It's amazing.
It's time for Truth Takes, a thought-provoking commentary on the new 101.7 The Truth. Here is Sherwin Hughes with his truth.
I think you're spoiled. You have too many choices. We sometimes forget that having choice is a luxury. I can remember when I was a little kid, I either ate what my mother cooked for dinner or I starved. I didn't have the luxury of choice. Now we can choose anything and everything. We can choose which apps we want to be a part of. We can go and pick a new mate. We can decide what food we want to order. We have an unlimited amount of choice, and I think that we forget that choice is a luxury. You are either a winner or you're a loser. You're either going up or you're going down. You're either free or a slave. You are either woke or you are asleep. Those are called binary choices, and it's tough for people to understand just having two choices in a world that inundates us with unlimited choice. I know you don't like the candidates that are on your ballot come November. Guess what? They probably don't like you either. But you only have a binary choice. You either want this country to excel and succeed and explore new industries and be honest and fair about racial inequity. You either believe in climate change or you don't. You believe in democracy or you don't. You want a country that will do whatever it can to help people, all people, regardless of gender identity, regardless of national origin, or you want to take the low road and vote for the person that only wants to help himself with no regard for anyone else. Choice is a luxury. Unfortunately, too many of us forget that it's a luxury. Binary choice is all you have in November. I hope you choose wisely.
This has been Truth Takes on the new 1017 The Truth. Listen to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes weekdays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
We're excited to be back celebrating the 53rd annual Juneteenth celebration in Milwaukee. Make sure you join us on Juneteenth as we broadcast live from the Juneteenth celebration from 11 a.m. until 3 p.m. Stop by our table to play games, win Truth merchandise, and say hello to your favorite Truth teammates. Our celebration of Juneteenth Day is presented by our founding partners, American Family Insurance, Gruber Law Offices, Associated Bank, Tabak Law, Molson Coors, and Educators Credit Union. And join us for our second installment of Beyond the Mic with me, Sherwin Hughes. This one will be on Tuesday, June 25th at Scene 1 Restaurant and Lounge from 5 until 7 p.m. We're going to have cocktails, great conversation, and unforgettable memories. And from 5 until 6 p.m., this is new this month, your first drink is going to be sponsored by PWD Computers. Also, get there right at 5 o'clock so you don't miss your chance to win a one-night stay at the Chula Vista Resort in the Dells, a 4-pack of Summerfest tickets, or a 4-pack of tickets to see the Milwaukee Brewers. We're also giving away $25 gift cards to Cousins Subs. Looking forward to seeing you at the next installment of Beyond the Mic with me, Sherwin Hughes, on June 25th from 5 until 7 p.m. at Scene 1 Restaurant and Lounge, 5526 West North Avenue. And we're also going to give away, we're doing a Summerfest giveaway too with the wristband to go see War and Treaty. So stay tuned for that. And all right, great. Make sure you guys show up at Beyond the Mic, and then tomorrow we're doing our big home buyers seminar workshop at North Division High School, where you can find out about all the ways in which you can become a homeowner. Home buying coaches will be there. They'll actually be able to get you approved for a home loan right there on the spot. That's tomorrow at North Division High School from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. Come say hello. Now I'm going to say hello to Bob. How are you?
Hello, Sherwin. I was just wondering, why you didn't say a little bit more about how Trump said this was a horrible city. I was just wondering.
Here's what I can't understand, Bob. So I'm glad you brought that up, but I don't know why that's offending us that he said that we have a horrible city. Of all the stuff this man says and all the threats that he poses to democracy, life, liberty, and our pursuits of happiness, like that has got the whole world stuck. Donald Trump has said way worse stuff. And plus, half of the time, we're talking about how horrible Milwaukee is. So that's what's got me perplexed. Like, of all the stuff this man says on any given day, like, all of a sudden Milwaukeeans are hurt because the worst human being on planet Earth said we have a horrible city. And, Bob, you don't even live here.
I was watching MSNBC, and that woman, Morning Joe, that woman had on a Milwaukee shirt to let people know. See, that's why I don't know why the Republican Party don't do this in Utah or Tennessee or whatever. They had to pick Milwaukee. And the last point I'd like to make before I get off the air, because you will interrupt.
Yes, I'll interrupt you right now.
When I was down there, you aggravated me and instigated me to put more money on that table. And I knew you was kidding right beside that $100. And I couldn't do it. And I said, no, man, that's too much. I mean, I'm not rich. And then I finally called you and let you know that Tori Lowe and Diane, I mean, that's not her name or whatever her name is.
Did you just call Liz Brown Diane?
I keep forgetting. I'm sorry. And then, you know, I gotta buy a radio every day because they bring so much smoke, man. And I listen. I feel I gotta listen to them, and they just bring so much smoke. So I would love Savanna to give you a few more bucks, you know, than that, because you know I gave Rhea and Carrie and buy Sherwin a hot dog or a hamburger. Don't get him hardly nothing. You know what I mean? And you know, but somehow you need to talk to Tori Lowe about bringing all that smoke. I mean, he brings a lot of smoke, and I have to buy a radio every day, and that aggravates me, man. I mean, I can't buy no neck bones, whatever. I will talk to you later, sir.
What did you laugh at?
I would talk to you. It's a shame I can't buy no neck bones because I have to buy a radio every day. You need to talk to your coworker.
Maybe you should stop listening to the radio.
No, I got to listen to the truth. It's interesting and it's nice. You know, you need to talk to Tori Lowe about and Liz, right? Yeah. To quit bringing so much smoke, man. I mean, do me a favor, man. Then I can give Savannah a few bucks when I come down there eventually.
Listen, Bob, you need to stop coming here and giving women money. That is not, no, Savannah, stop dancing. You are not getting no money from Bob.
Talk to you later, sir. You know, you had me on long enough. Talk to you later.
Get off the phone. Hang the phone up, man.
I will hang it up, man.
Hang the phone up, man. All right.
Why are you being so mean?
Because Bob is out of his damn mind. Did you hear what he called Liz Brown? He called her Diane. Oh, Tori Lowe and Diana. Was that Brendan Johnson that was just in the studio with you?
Yep.
What's he doing here? Well, Julia Fellow brings all the TMJ4 TV people through here. Y'all don't know that this is where it's at. TV personnel, like your TV news anchors, they dream of being on radio. I'm telling you, this is where it's at. So Julia Fellow, she's here. She's over at TMJ. She got a show with John Mercure in the afternoons. Then you got Jessica Ty. She's here. She used to be with CBS 58. She also has an afternoon show over here as well. John Mercure, who was on TMJ for many, many years, he has a show here as well. I think it's Vince Vitrano, who did the morning news on WTMJ for like 20 years. He came over here. Now he's spreading his wings. And guess what? Vince ain't going to want me to tell y'all this. I call him Vinny. Vinny ain't going to want y'all to know this, but he makes way more money over here. Yeah, way more.
What?
Money. Oh, yeah. They don't tell you that, but this is where the money is. Shh. Because once you tell people that this is where the money is, then they're going to start pocket watching. This is Sandra on line one. Do we know what Sandra wants? Okay. You don't screen the calls. Here, you said earlier there's ways in which I can help you because you're just a girl, just a damsel in distress. Let's start by you screening the calls.
Well, here's the thing.
Oh, okay.
I do screen the calls.
You're woman-splaining this to me.
Maybe. I do screen the calls. We have lovely conversations. Everybody's so kind and so sweet, and they just say they want to contribute to the show, and I just think that's amazing, you know? So I let them through.
All right. So what I'm going to try and work on, because I want to be a better professional, is sticking on a topic and not drifting and not veering. So I tried to do that today. We were talking about democracy and recall efforts and how happy I am to see so many members of our community engaged in things politically that they want to be able to change and amend. And guess what you made me do? You made me talk about the Gawk 3000 and Father's Day weekend. and men being physically, sexually pampered. You brought that up.
Oh, that's incredibly false. You might want to try that again. Are you sure that was me?
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. Don't go anywhere. On the other side, we're going to talk to Sandra. And I don't know what she wants to talk about because I don't know what she wants to talk about. I'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, our first Beyond the Mic Happy Hour Mixer Series was a hit. Round 2 is up next. Join me and my Truth teammates for my Beyond the Mic Happy Hour Mixer Series on Tuesday, June 25th from 5 until 7 p.m. at Scene 1 Restaurant and Lounge, located at 5526 West North Avenue in Milwaukee. There will be delicious cocktails, great conversation, and unforgettable memories. Plus, from 5 until 6 p.m., your first drinks are sponsored by PWD Computers. So mark your calendars for Tuesday, June 25th from 5 until 7 p.m. at Scene 1 Restaurant and Lounge.
This is Ambassador Arthur Burks inviting you to the annual Reform Felons Ball. It all takes place at 100 Gems campus at 6737 North on Titonia Avenue. Tuesday, June the 18th. Doors open up at 6:30 p.m. with special guests Terrence Gangster Williams and Ken Ivey.
Hi, this is Terrence Gangster Williams. Shout out to Milwaukee. I will be out there June 18th for the Reform Felon Ball. Let's hang out. Shout out to all my ex-felons who came home, who doing something positive.
You better call and get your free tickets while they last.
Free food and admission. Donations are accepted at the door. Pick up your tickets at All Star Variety Shop, 4620 West on Burleigh, or call 414-509-4808. This is an AB and Winky Blue production.
Associated Bank knows your small business isn't just a venture. It's your dream and a vital part of the community. And we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We're looking out for you. That's why Associated Bank offers quick online applications and approvals with funding in as fast as one business day, checking with no minimum balances or maintenance fees, and prompt customer service. Explore our products at associatedbank.com/business or visit a branch for more details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Have you been injured at work, denied VA or Social Security benefits? Don't get taken advantage of. Go to Tayback Law Firm, recognized as one of the top Social Security law firms in the United States. Tayback Law sincerely wants what is best for the Milwaukee community, and last year they helped return over $30 million in wrongfully denied benefits to the people in our communities. Stop waiting and get the benefits you are entitled to. For more information, visit TaybackAttorneys.com and get Tayback for the payback.
Miller High Life, the champagne of beers, has called Milwaukee home since 1903. And Miller High Life is proud to sponsor the Milwaukee Juneteenth celebration. Miller High Life and Beer Capital Distributing.
A Brewers Group outing is the best way to celebrate any special occasion. You can count on the Brewers to host an event your crew won't forget. Brewers account reps make your day at the ballpark a breeze. Start planning your group outing now at brewers.com/groups.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Let's talk to Sandra. I only got like 90 seconds because I have to do something before the end of my show. So go ahead.
Okay. I was just going to say, hi, Sherwin, and happy Father's Day.
Thank you.
And I was just going to, and I was just going to say what they said Trump said about Milwaukee being a bad city. I was just going to say I always take up for us. I don't let him do that. And he's just a distraction anyways. He's running around. They want to name some oceans, all the oceans after him. It's always something with them. They're just a big distraction. And so I want to say one more thing about Milwaukee. If Milwaukee was so bad, how come that Browski, Judge Browski or something, he called it a sewer?
Oh, yeah.
And now we're pumping our water to Waukesha. So it can't be a sewer. I see a lot of privilege here, and maybe one day we might pipe some water out to other states, and then they may love us again.
Thank you.
Okay, that's what I had to say. Bye.
All right, bye-bye. Why are y'all so offended that Donald Trump said this is a horrible city. Like, he says a lot of terrible, like, y'all are really hurt over that. Apparently, I got to do a reaction video. You getting my reaction right now? Sherwin, what do you think about Donald Trump calling Milwaukee a horrible city? Oh, my God, why would he say that? We try so hard. We have hardworking families here, and there's so many nice people here, and I go to church, and I don't care what that man says. Y'all over here, y'all soft. Trump said Milwaukee is horrible. Oh, my God. Let me tell you something. I got a weekend full of fun stuff to do, and I'm going to do all of it. I'm going to have so much fun this weekend. I'm going to have a good old time this weekend. I got plans. I got things to do. I got people to see. You think Donald Trump saying this is a horrible city going to stop any damn thing I want to do? And I got paid today. Period. Donald Trump didn't stop my check. He didn't stop my check from hitting that account. I know that's right. Direct deposit. You can horrible that, Donald Trump. I got paid today. All right. Milwaukee's biggest party on the lake starts next week. That's called Summerfest. And guess what? The award-winning 1017 The Truth, we've got the hookup for you. Now is your chance to win a 2-pack of Summerfest tickets and a pair of wristbands to see the War and Treaty live at Summerfest. Call 833-212-1017. I'll do caller number 4, right? Make it easy. Call number 4 at 833-212-1017 wins a 2-pack of Summerfest tickets and a pair of wristbands to see War and Treaty at Summerfest. 833-212-1017. Call number 4 to win the tickets and the wristbands to see War and Treaty. Okay. Oh, here we go. Hi there.
What caller is this?
1.
This is number 4?
1. You're the first person. You got to call back. I'm actually not very good at this. Let's try this. Your caller number 2. Call back. Hi, your caller number 3.
Oh, Sherwin.
Sorry.
Did I win?
No! You got to be caller number 4. Hang up and then call back real fast. Actually, no, that's not going to work because so that person hung up. Here, I'll go to this one right here. Right here. Hi, who is this?
This is Grant.
Oh, congratulations, Grant. You just won a 2-pack of Summerfest tickets and a pair of wristbands to see the War and Treaty live at Summerfest.
Beautiful.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
What radio station makes you a winner?
101.7 The Truth.
There you go. Perfect. Hold on, Grant. Savannah's going to get your information. All right, hold on. All right. So I did it. See, next time we do contests, just let me do it, and you ain't even got to worry about it. Hi, sorry, we already found our winner. You didn't win.
Okay, thanks.
Oh, I'm sorry. You sound disappointed. Are you going to be okay? All right. Sorry, we already found our winner. You're too late.
Oh, man. All right.
Okay, then. People get disappointed, don't they? I'm going to give away some of my personal Summerfest tickets. You know what I should do? At the Beyond the Mic. Wait, is this the first weekend of Summerfest or is it next weekend? When does Summerfest start? I should probably know this because they're one of our sponsors. I'm going to give away some of my own Summerfest tickets because I've got way more tickets than I'm going to use. So I'll tell you what. If you see me out in the streets, actually, no, that's a terrible idea. I don't want just random people coming up to me and touching me and tapping me on my shoulder and asking for Summerfest tickets. That would be a bad look. How about this? We'll arrange a way for me to give away my own Summerfest tickets. I can't do it through the radio station. They get mad at that. But for those of you that want to go to Summerfest, I will share with you some of my ticket stash. All right, what do we got here? Mr. Mahdi said that Bob is a player. No, Bob is not a player. Bob needs to stop giving young women money because that's what he does. Do y'all know that every time Bob comes to the station, comes to the studio, he reaches in his pocket and pulls out a handful of cash? I don't even know what Bob does to get that money. I do not want to know what he does to get the money, but he always has plenty of it. And he gives it to the pretty women here, which you got to stop doing that. You can't. Isn't that kind of ironic, though, how women don't want to be judged based on how they look and they want to be treated just like everybody else until you give them money based on their attractiveness, and then it's different. Unbelievable. Not really a city girl says, Happy Father's Day to you, Sherwin, and every father in the chat. Thank you.
Wait, you a dad?
Yeah, our daughter's going to be 20 years old.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Why I didn't know that?
I don't know.
Not you a daddy. Oh, let me hit the hotkey.
I got a grown-ass woman.
That's so cute.
And only one. I'm not a multiple baby daddy.
Okay, look at you.
One is plenty.
It can be.
It's a lot. It's enough. It's the hard work is now it's on her. But now it's like, good luck.
See, no, your adult children still need you. I still need my mama.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's usually just for money.
Well, yes. So?
We had to buy her a car because apparently she got in a car accident. She wasn't hurt.
Okay, good.
I was like, when I first, of course, oh my God, are you okay? She's like, yeah, I'm good. But then it was like, gonna have to start car shopping now.
Yeah. What'd you get her?
She got a Hyundai. A Hyundai Sonata.
Now, you know what? I ain't gonna say that. You just talk so much crap.
Where did she get a Kia? It's a nice Kia. It's like it's one of the nicer ones. I get them mixed up.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me see. Here, it's the very nice one. It is I don't know. It's the nice one. What's the nice Kia?
It's a lot of nice Kias out here now.
I would never buy a Kia, though.
So why you have her buy one then?
That's what she wanted.
Oh, okay.
And we also were operating in a price range.
Okay.
She ain't getting no Lexus, Mercedes, Benz, BMW. No. You got to earn those. You got to work and get a job and get a college degree.
She's on her way.
Okay, on your way, it's steps.
Where'd she go to school?
UW Milwaukee.
Okay.
It's very good education she's going to get from there.
Look at you, Dad, sure.
That's where I went and got my education, and look at me. Look how successful I am.
Let's just focus on the baby.
She's not a baby.
You're a baby.
She's a grown-ass woman. All right. Fathers, have a good time this weekend. Get pampered. I hope you get taken care of. I hope you get swallowed up. I hope you get some good rest. Anything and everything that you need should be provided to you because, fathers, you make the world go round. Salute and shout out to all the fathers.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Have a great weekend.
Truth Nation, join me, Sherwin Hughes, on Saturday, June 15th from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. at North Division High School for Axe House.